In honour of the 31 lives lost on Territory roads in 2023, we ask that you be upstanding if you can to join our players, coaches and umpires as we take a moment to reflect on the lives lost in 2023 on Northern Territory roads.
And good afternoon out here at TIO Stadium, where we're going to watch Sam Clark, my fellow commentator, and myself, Gray Morris, will be watching Waratah's third, playing the Buffalo 6. And remember, this is towards a 0 round. And the AFL in its wisdom has introduced live stats. Sam.
They sure have, and it'll be great throughout the game. We'll get to share some stats with you and see how many disposals Baxter Mensch can get each quarter. I'm sure it'll be a key in our disposals column on our live stats. We're trialling it for the first time in this round 17 clash of our TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between the Waratahs and Darwin Buffaloes. A big game in the scheme of things, Gray.
Yes, we've got Buffaloes have to win. They've got to make up 15 percentage points on fifth place punt as well, so they'll be looking for a bit of a stampede, I think. If we can see a Buffalo stampede, Sam, we might be in for a big upset.
Sure will.
Waratahs, on the other hand, were not all that flash last week against St Mary's, but they've got some key players back. I see Abe Ankers will start in the middle. Very good player is Abe. Has dominated Alice Springs football for many years. Jaden Magro kicked 4 goals last week on a losing side. He's kicked, I think, 53 goals this year. And, of course, I've got Arnie Kirby, probably the informed ruckman of the league.
Sure do. And then over on the Buff side, Nicky Yaron's in the number 2 today, and I'd expect the Stokes boys to stand up. And obviously they've got Mensch and Matty Campbell's come up and big in for them as well with his experience, and Xander Nash there, our round 16 rising star from last week with his 17 disposal and a goal or 2. So both sides looking, it'll be a tough, tight, hot contest here. It feels like 39 degrees out there, and I was out there running at 10:30 this morning, and it felt like that then as well. So
it'll be nice and warm. The other big end, of course, Buffalo's is big Daniel Stafford, who will probably be opposed by Daniel O'Dwyer, who's back in the Waratah side as well. They're a very good fullback. So we're in for a very good game of footy, I think.
Sure are, and we are just about to get underway, and Samson Bennett, number 0 umpire, about to ball it up, and Kirby just gets caught under there by Buffs, and Buffs over the top through Jared Stokes there, and Stokes gets it long inside forward 50. Coming at it is Stafford, but Stafford can't quite get it, but a teammate I can't quite see who that is. It's very glary out here today, and has kicked Buff's first goal for the game. And that looks like Coco Nicky.
It is Coco Nicky, a lovely left foot snap, and that's put them on the board in less than a minute.
Sure has, and Coco Nicky, another big in as well. I think he's stood up the last few weeks for Buffs, and only took him 20 seconds to get on the board, and just gives Tars that scare into this first quarter.
And Sam, I reckon the Buffettes, the women's side, caused an upset just before this game, and I'm sure that was mentioned among the men. If the women can do it, surely we can. So
yeah, that was another big game in the scheme of finals and ladder contentions as well for in the Women's Premier League game 2, and I think they did just get over the top. So ball's gone back up here. Stokes read that best, coming out the back, and Sharple's out there to the number 0 in Jackson Clark, because it's towards 0 round today, and he finds a teammate on the far side through Nick Yaron. He's going to go long down the wing, but chopped off there by Hillis for Tars, and they move the ball quickly through Clark, through there into their forward line. They're going deep inside forward 50. Out comes the number 0 in Jaden Magro today, and he kicked 4 last week. Gray, you mentioned he's kicked probably 54 for this season, and he'll look to kick Tars first for this game.
Yes, Tars moved the ball very quickly on that occasion. They couldn't do it against St Mary's. St Mary's formed a wall across half-back that prevented them, but they certainly looked very efficient then, and Magro's trusted left foot drop punt. He'll be hoping for Tars' first goal, and of course his first goal.
He's not quite on the right side for a lefty, but I'm sure he's going to steer this one home, and he doesn't. It hangs out left, and the goal umpire says that's a behind. Have the ball in number 30, Nathan Stewart, and have a kick out, Darwin Buffaloes.
Been very good, Nathan Stewart, normally in the ruck. It looks like he's playing down back today.
So he'll come out long. No mark taken. Scooter Carlin there. Out to the big fella in Kirby. Kirby's looking for a short target, but doesn't quite get it, and Buffs chop it off. They've got some quick hands. They've got some runners here. They can't quite take it cleanly. And Tars have a short option in Alex Pulling, but Pulling can't quite take the footy, and great pressure and a wrap up there by 3 Buffs boys deep inside Tars 50.
So we're in the Waratah forward line. The umpire's going to throw it up, and up they go, the big fellows. Big Archer get pushed out. There's a snap for goal by Waratah. Looks like he's put it through. Who was that one?
Can't quite see who it.
They're congratulating each other. Come out of an angry pack, that did. And all of a sudden, Waratahs are in front. They're 1-1-7, and the Buffaloes are 1 goal. That ball came out of the blue, and the cameraman focusing there on number 5, so it might have been him, Alex Pulling. Certainly a very nice goal. The type of goal the small forwards are supposed to kick, Sam.
Sure are, and I will pick up who that was at quarter time for you, but it was a very quick tap out and a snapshot on goal, and great work to just keep themselves in this game early on from Tars. So 1 goal apiece, with Tars 1 behind, 1 goal 1-7, and to Buffs 1 goal 0, 6 points. So as the ball goes up here, Kirby just stuck under it again, but he reads it off his fellow ruckman, and he just gives his opponent in Baxter Mensch a push in the back, and the umpire says Mensch have a free kick. So we'll bring that one back to almost the middle of the ground, and he'll look to play on. He goes long, he goes inside 50, coming at it a few players, and a big contest in there, but the big fella Archer gets it out. The Keranoa reads it best for Tars, and he gets a quick handball out to Clark, and Clark moves it on quickly, but spent it before he used it was Mackenzie, but Scooter Carlin in there with some quick hands. He handles it straight to Mensch, and Mensch goes inside 50 looking for a teammate. He takes a beautiful chest mark, and that's big Daniel Stafford, the big in for Buffaloes today. So he says, let's slow it down, and I'm going to have a set shot on goal.
That's one player Waratah's going to have to watch. Big Stafford, of course, but Baxter Mensch, he just keeps racking up possessions. And you're about to check the live stats for me now.
Says no data right now, so...
Not quite up yet? Okay.
Not up.
Certainly Baxter's a very important player for Buffaloes. He picks up, as I said, a heap of possessions.
Oh, the big fella in Stafford's gone to play on, and it hasn't quite come off, and Tars weren't responsive enough, and he's found a teammate in the middle in Lachlan Hill, who'll go back with a much better angle, and he'll kick this from about 40 out. And so Stafford just didn't sell that candy very well, but Tars not on the ball ready there, and allowed Hill just to take a nice clean mark inside 50.
Yes, they've certainly started in a hurry, the Buffaloes. As Hill lines up from about 45, and it looks pretty good from here, Sam. It's cleared the goal umpire, and it's a goal.
Goes straight over the head there. So Buffs with their second goal of this quarter inside the first 5 minutes through Hill there. And they'll look to keep piling them on.
Will we see a Buffalo stampede? They certainly have to win well against Waratahs to have any hope of playing in the finals, because next week they've got St Mary's, and that's another mountain they'll have to climb. But right now I'm sure the coaching staff, including Cameron Stokes and his troops and the players, know they've got to get over this very good Waratah side, and they've started very well. They've kicked 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of the game.
So Ben Archer up against Arnold Kirby in the ruck here as we restart this game. So Kirby just looking to put that pressure on early, and he does, and it comes out, but he's been caught high by Archer, and he'll win himself a free kick in the middle of the ground. So he goes short down the corridor to his teammate in Scooter Carlin, who's just going to slow this play down, looking for a teammate deep inside 50. He's got a few options there. Getting caught under it was Hunt, but out the back is Abe Ankers, and he comes around, and he's not quite kicked it. I believe that hit the post. It sure did. So Darwin Buffaloes through Moroney will bring this back in. So he's played on. He gets it outside 50 to a one-on-one there. Sitting under it was Yaron. Sitting under it was Scooter Carlin. But running on and picking it up is Will Clark, and he's got some quick hands here to release a teammate. And the Tars have gone inside forward 50 again. It's a 3-on-1, but Buffs get the spoil on it, and Hutt picks it up. A quick kick around the corner to Magro there, I think. And he's wrapped up, but not quite. And Tars set up beautifully out the back of this 50. Goes in long. They're just bombing it every time, and 2 Buffs players went up then, but spoiled each other. And Brody Cow around the corner, and it's rolled through for a behind.
There's an opportunity there for Brody, but he just couldn't get enough hook on it and rolled it through for a behind. Very handy player around goals is Brody, was last year's captain. I think he'd be captain today because Dylan Collis, the elected captain, is in Perth. Obviously not playing this afternoon.
So we've got a free kick here out on the wing. Buffs will take the advantage. And there he is, Matty Campbell, takes it in, looking for a teammate in Stafford. He's found himself some space, and he's in the probably exact same spot where he was, and he's telling the umpire he might as well umpire this game as well, where the mark was taken.
He's in exactly the same spot, and he tried to sell candy again. He's hooked it on goal, Sam, and popped it through.
What a goal. He's just gone, I'll just play on while you're mucking around on that mark that I've set you on, and I'll bang it on the right boot and score Darwin Buff's third goal for this game.
Very important player, as I said before, his big staff. But what about Matty Campbell's footpath? He measured beautifully, and all Stafford had to do was take 3 steps to hit him right on the sternum. And for those who don't know the sternum, that's the bone that covers the heart. And Big Staff had no problems. He just ran around on his right foot like it was picking apples from a tree.
Yeah, so as the ball's coming back to this middle, we're about to restart. You'll see the boys out there today wearing yellow armbands for towards 0 round. So for all those that have died on our NT roads here, and there's been about 500 every year that are injured or die every year. So we're moving towards 0 of road deaths. But Darwin Buffs have cut this one off through Grant, and he'll go wide to his teammate in Mensch. Mensch will wheel around and go long down the wing. He's got Stokes, that's Bradley Stokes, all by himself. He'll play on in front of Clark, but he goes just inside 50, and he's looking for his teammates, but spoiled there by Westworth from Tars and knocked over the boundary line for a throw in inside Buffs forward 50.
Interesting to see Bradley Stokes back in defence. He kicked 4 goals at a makeshift full forward last week, so he can obviously play both ends of the ground. A very, very good player, very hard at it is Bradley Stokes.
I think all the Stokes boys are hard at it as well, and as for Bianca as well too. But as the ball comes back in, Wilkins just gets over the top there, but it's come into the hands of Stafford, who releases Yaron, and Yaron's got a shot on goal. He just gets it to the outside of the boot, and it's just hung right for Buff's first behind of this game.
Knowing Nick Yaron as I do, he'd been disappointed in that because he loves to kick a goal on the run, but tried it on the outside of the boot for some reason. Then when the straightforward drop punch, you think would have been more suitable. But still, more scores for the Buffaloes. And here they come out towards half-back. A chance there for Buffalo to get the ball. They couldn't. Toby Hutt there. Oh, he's grabbed around the neck. The umpire going to play a free kick. It looks like he will. And a free kick out here to Toby Hutt, the big, lean-looking half-forward wingman from Waratah. He's had a very good season. He's going to go short, and he's picked up here number 23, and that is Tyson McKenzie. He's been in and out of the side a bit, Tyson. He goes to half forward looking for, but not finding his teammate. Running hard at the ball there for the Buffaloes was Chris Williams. But here comes Brodie Carroll again. He's going to go over. No, it's over the head of the full forward. Number 0, of course. That is Jaden Magro. Someone had a fresh air shot out there at halfback.
Yeah, that's Nathan Stewart.
This time he kicks it to the wing position, pushing and shoving out there, but no mark. A handball back here to Waratah. Here they come. A handball in board here to Timmy Kiranura. He's going to go long. Who's there to mark it for Waratahs? Almost a mark. Grabbed around the neck, it looked. And it will be a free kick to Waratahs. And the boy coming back here to have a shot is it Scooter?
Sure is.
It looked like Scooter Carlin. Very good player is Scotty Carlin. Made, of course, the Territory side that beat the Essendon VFL side only a few weeks ago. Having a drop punch shot from right on 50, I reckon. He's gone bang, and he's hooked it. He's hooked it almost out of bounds on the full. Nearly a mark there to Waratahs. The ball out of bounds with Buffaloes grabbing the early ascendancy. They're 3-1-19. Waratahs at 1-3-9. The boundary umpire about to throw it back in.
Yeah, similar scoring shots, but 10 points ahead is Buffs. So as the ball comes back in deep inside Buffs forward 50, Archard first one there. Hutt just trying to push him under, and it's a quick snap on goal. Can't quite pick up who that was, but that takes Tar's second goal there. And it looks like Scooter Carlin potentially just picked that one out of the pack. So that's their second one from a quick stoppage and ball up straight away out. So the Buffs will need to be more defensive on those stoppages deep inside their defensive 50.
Yes, he was virtually unopposed, and he had plenty of time to size up the shot, hook it over his left shoulder and put it straight through the middle. So they're only 4 points behind, despite the early ascendancy from the Buffalo boys. 3-1-19 to 2-3-15. And remember, you're watching AFL and T's coverage of this round 17 game between Waratahs and the Darwin Buffaloes at TIO Stadium in Marara, land of the Larrakia people. And don't forget it's 0 round, which is why Jackson Clark and Jade Magro have got 0 on the back, Sam.
Sure do. So as the ball goes back up here, a quick kick out of a stoppage for Tars, but Williams sits under it, and a spoil there by Ryan Clark, and doesn't quite affect it, but the ball's going to roll out of bounds here in just inside Tars' forward half. So we'll get a throw in. 13 minutes gone of this first quarter.
Yes, it's a typical Waratah Buffalo game this. Both sides desperate. But both sides need the points, of course. Remembering too that Waratah to still have an eye on the double chance, even though they are a game behind. So they've obviously got to keep winning as well.
So first the footy there was Hillis, but it's just rolled back out of bounds, and we'll get another boundary throw in just about halfway up the ground.
Yeah, it's a bit of a quiet period in the game.
So Archer versus Kirby here. Kirby's in a better spot, but Archer just pushing his way in there. Nobody can take it cleanly, but held off the footy was Joel Hillis, and he'll get a free kick for it and send this ball deep inside Tars' forward 50. He's got a runner on the outside. Kirby's telling him where to go. He goes short to a teammate who can't quite take it in O'Sullivan. It just comes off the chest to Williams, and a quick kick out to Matty Clark, and he's there. He wants to release a teammate up the wing in Stokes, and Stokes finds his next teammate there in Yaron. Yaron wheels around on the right. He goes just inside forward 50, and a short mark there for Stafford. He takes it, but he plays on, and it's in the hands of Kirby now. They release through the middle through Cassidy. Stafford in pursuit, but didn't quite affect the kick too much, and Williams sitting under it just pulled off that footy. And has it is Brody Carroll, I believe. And he's gone inside to a teammate looking for Hutt. Hutt runs onto it with a quick handball out the back to O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan, a snap around the corner on the right. Is it going to go through? For a behind. So Tars having shots on goal, and all their scores coming from snaps. They probably had a bit more time than what they thought. So pushing up the ground is Sharples. He takes a nice mark. He gets it up the wing. Sitting under it beautifully was Coco Nicky. He's going to have a bounce. Hot in pursuit is Tom Spence, but he can't quite catch him. But Nicky falls over, and he gets a quick handball out to Sketcher, who goes around the corner, but just kind of into no man's land. And it's cut off there, but Nicky straight back on it to Yaron. A quick hands out to Yaron. Sitting under the big fella Stafford. Stafford versus O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer wins that one. He composes himself. He comes out wide to Tommy Spence, and he takes a mark at half back. He's played on though, and he's been wrapped up, and he just throws that one off.
And the umpire's had a free kick, did he? Yes, he
sure did.
Going to say they've got away with murder otherwise.
Sure did. And Yaron's got that footy. He'll send it back in. Looking for his teammate. He comes over the top, can't quite take it, but read it best was Crocker. Crocker gets it out to Cassidy. Cassidy, quick hands out to Gleeson, who gets it wide, but Tars have got the runners up the middle in Anchors. Anchors gets it. He's got Westworth, doesn't go. Scotty Carlin cuts it off. A quick handball back out to Clark, and Clark goes wide to the wing. They're going to keep looking to move this ball quickly, and Carlin's got it. He's going to go back to Clark. Clark in pursuit from Williams, and he just takes the tackle. And a quick kick off the deck. Being held onto off there. No free kick to Buffs, but Buffs get it forward through Mensch. Mensch is onto it. He's got a handball, and he releases Nicky. Nicky's looking for a teammate. He doesn't come off the boot very well, but his teammate runs around, goes around on the right, and he finds a big fella in Stafford. Beautiful work. And Stafford will just compose this and say, let's just have a set shot on goal here and give everyone a breather.
Yes, be a very handy goal for the Buffaloes. They're the game turned into a very even contest last 5 or 10 minutes. The other big in too for the Swans we missed was Ryan Clark, number 18, the former Sydney Swan, of course, who's been holidaying in Europe and Bali, so he tells me, but he's certainly back serious today because he wants to play football and he wants to get Waratahs into the top 3. So Ryan Clark, the former Sydney Swan. And a shot for goal there by Big Stafford. Looked like he split the middle. 3.5 metres each side. So that's a goal. That's his second, and Buffalo's fourth. They're 4-1-25 to 2-4-16. Big Stafford with the yellow armband, of course, for beyond zero round. Running off, I think, for a drink of water.
replacing him.
He's been replaced by number 10, and that's Bradley Stokes. So a good goal of the Buffaloes, well worked and well kicked by big Daniel Stafford, who's on a very worthy opponent in Daniel O'Dwyer. I mentioned him pre-match, a very good fullback, but he's certainly been given the run around early by a very enthusiastic Staff. But he did miss last week. I'm just wondering whether there was soreness or he had personal commitments, because if he is a bit sore, they'll probably use him off the bench a fair bit, Sam.
Yeah, so Archer just got over the top of that, and that's Stokes on the run. He's going to go deep inside forward 50. He's got a one-on-one in the square. The man you just mentioned of the moment, Daniel O'Dwyer, just uses his footy smarts and his footy brains and knocks that one over, because he knew he was one-on-one out there, and a behind's better than a goal kicked on ya. So he goes short to his teammate in Clark, the informed Sydney Swan vacationist, and Clark goes out wide and releases Westworth. Westworth just does a dinky kick on the left. I don't think that's his natural left. Over to number 5 and Alex Pullings pursue it, releases Carlin. Carlin's kick, I have a feeling that might have just nicked the umpire then, but it's nevertheless, it's come around, and the big fella for Tars in number 20, looks like 3, in Tyson McKenzie, has taken that mark inside 50, so they'll look for a quick response here.
Yes, left unattended there, and of course the footy smarts that is Brodie Carroll spotted him and hit him right on the sternum. And McKenzie should kick this, Sam. He'd only be... Just look, the man on the mark and only be 35 metres out, so probably kick from 40. And he comes in with a trusted drop punt, and he has kicked a goal.
Beautiful.
So Waratahs are third. They're 3-4-22, trailing the Buffaloes 4-2-26 in this very important round 17 game of the 23-24 NTFL season. Beyond Zero round being brought to you by the AFL NT.
Yeah, so we're just about to head in to time on here, and we've had 7 goals kicked this quarter, so we'll get it pushing on 25 minutes first quarter, sorry. And our live stats are not giving us any data right now, so we might be able to come back to you after our quarter time break and see if we can get that fixed, but it would be interesting to see.
Yes, we've got our backroom staff working furiously on it, and here we are. We're just about to get it going again. Looks like Big Archer, he goes up and he beat with the tap. Here they come, Waratahs. Big up and under, though, to the half-forward line. Oh, a big flyer there. Did he mark up? The great grab if he did.
That was Jack O'Sullivan just over the top.
Yes, the guy with the long legs. But what a mark. Right over the pack, and he grabbed it with one bite. And he'll have a shot for goal to put Waratahs in front, Sam, which is a bit of a turnaround.
Yeah.
Big Jack O'Sullivan, who's... uncle, of course, played in those glory years of the late 90s for Waratahs, and he comes in another drop punt kick, but this time it is a behind. In fact, it didn't make the distance, was trapped through. So 3-5-23 to 4-2-26. That's 8 shots to 6, and it's the Buffaloes in the ascendancy. Yeah,
so they'll look to just cut it short here and find Stokes, and that's Jared Stokes just in the half-back line in their defensive 50, so he's going to stick to that far side wing, and he's got a couple of teammates there, but a great spoil by Alex pulling through the middle there, and plucked out of the air was by Mensch, but he gets a quick hands, and it's being worked out here, and a kick inside by Robbie Barty just clears everyone in the pack, and pursuing that footy is Anchors. Can he turn his player inside out? He's not as young as he used to be, but gets it out to Carlin. Carlin has a quick snap on goal as he nailed it.
I reckon he's kicked that.
He's nailed it. A right foot snap on goal on the wrong side, but he's kicked it through the big sticks.
He's certainly a casual snap from the man they call Scooter. So you'd expect an expedited shot, but it was a casual shot. Took his time and whopped it through with the right foot over the left shoulder trick, and he's walking back with his chest puffed out a bit, and I don't blame him. A very nice goal there for Waratahs, because it's put them in front nearly 22 minutes into the first quarter. 4-5-29. Plays 4-2-26, Sam.
Yeah, just gives his teammate in Brodie Carroll a high five there and goes, let's just settle this one down as well. So they're 3 points up, and it's been a tight tussle this whole first quarter, and I imagine that's how the rest of this game is going to go. So we've got Archer in the ruck. Going up against him is Jordan Wilkins, and as the tap comes down in pursuit, Stokes picks it up, boots it, just bangs it on the right, inside forward 50. Over the top there for Tars was Tom Spence.
Like a free kick being pulled out here.
Kick's been picked out.
Looks like...
Must have just been a bit of a hanging on free kick, and it's going to go to Coco Nicky.
Again, he kicked that beautiful goal to open proceedings. He'll go back and have a shot from... where's the man on the mark? About 40 out. So a rugby union specialist is Coco's, but he loves his game of Australian football as well. So he's going to... You know how important this is too, just in the shadows of quarter time. Coco Nicky. Don't know if he's a cocoa drinker, but he certainly kicked a goal. That's a beautiful goal from Coco Nicky. He took his time, didn't rush, and steered it right through, and he's running off with arms waving. He's getting high fives from his teammates. That's a very, very good goal for Waratahs. They're 5-2-32, and they're back in front because Waratahs are only 4-5-29, nearly 23 and a half minutes gone in the first quarter.
Yeah, so he'll come to the bench and he'll send another experienced player in Matty Campbell down into their forward line as well. So as we come back onto time on here in the middle of the ground, with Buffs just pinching that lead back by their 3 points.
Looks like Tars have got their chop-out ruckman number 28 in action, and that is, of course, Jordan Wilkins. The big fellow, Arnie Kirby, must be having a spell, which is pretty rare for him, Sam.
Sure is, and Archer's just used his body to outbody this half the size of him there, and Tars have got it off the deck. It's going to go deep inside their forward 50. They got one-on-ones. He's going to bounce through. It's not. It's going to bounce through for a behind. So another point to add to Waratah's score. 4 goals, 6:30. Just being pipped by Darwin Buffalo's 5 goal, 2:32 as we are pushing the quarter time siren. So Buffs will bring it out. They're going to go up the corridor late, and Archer sits under it, but a great spoil by Wilkins over the top. Sitting out the back is James. He tries to go on it, but it's tapped off the deck. Missing that footy is Carroll, and Carroll's just held off the ball, and he'll win himself a free kick here. And Buff's about to take it, but smart play to stops it. So Carroll will look. He's got a teammate in Cassidy running inside, but chopped off there was Maroney. Terrific with a great spoil.
Yep. Kevin Maroney. Been doing that for years, Sam.
Yep. So Buffs have got the run on here, and the Sketcher just gets it in. He finds Big Stafford, and he's tried to play on, but he didn't, and he's going to find Mensch inside, but it's the spoil going to come from Carroll, but it's not. He backs to Mensch, just uses his body beautifully and takes a mark on the chest. So he's going to look for a teammate inside 50 on the lead. Karanua with a great spoil over Matty Campbell there. Some quick hands out to James. James goes backwards to go forwards. Finds another big fella in Charles Staples.
Charlie Staples, yes, but a bit smart play there for my favourite Buffalo, Antonio James. I love the name, number 4. Didn't panic, had a look and saw Charlie on his own, number 35, and he can put Buffalo, 8 points in front if he kicks this. I reckon the timekeeper will have their finger on the button too for the quarter time siren, Sam. And he's hooked it. He has indeed, only one behind, so 5-3-33 plays 4-6-30 in this very, very important round 17 place. Bit of an early start too in comparison to the season, a 2:30 game, so the boys will be feeling the temperature.
Risky kick by Crocker there, and Buffs have just turned it over, and number 10, Bradley Stokes, says, thank you very much, Joel Crocker. I'll just take that footy and kick a goal on you. That's the worst feeling in footy, but he won't make that mistake again going up the corridor in red time. So Buffs kick another goal, taking their lead out to 9 points here in this first quarter of this round 17 clash of this men's Premier League season between Darwin Buffaloes and the Waratahs.
Yes, I've been mentioning how calculated they are, Waratahs, but they got themselves into a panic then. And, of course, Bradley Stokes said, well, look, fellas, while you're doing that, I'll just pop this over my shoulder for my first goal. He's been moved down there, as he was last week, played very well, and he's put Tars 9 points in front. Nearly 20, in fact, 27 minutes have just ticked over, Sam.
Sure is, and Archer will verse Wilkins in here, and Archer just using his body to keep that under, and Scooter Carlin over the top of it. Tries to get it out, does so to Cassidy, but Archer picks it up and just goes long to the top of the 50. And Buffs are there to take it. Nicky Yaron gets it out. Antonio James picks it up, but wrapped up there by Tars and forcing a ball up just inside the square.
Ooh, I thought the umpire was going to signal higher then, but he didn't. All he was saying was, "I'll have it, fellas." And he throws it up in the air, the big shiny football. There's Mensch with his big left foot kick right to full forward. It's O'Dwyer versus Stafford. Stafford pushes and shoves. The umpire said, "You can't do that, Daniel." It's a free kick to Waratahs. And coming back with the resultant pass is Will Clark, the other Clark. And he goes out the wing position. So Waratahs trailing by 9 points, getting into the shadows of quarter time. He goes long to the wing and almost a one-hander. 2 hands for beginners, Buffaloes. And here they go again. Here's Antonio James with a clever handball inboard, but unfortunately went to a guy in a red jumper, not double blue. And they converge on Will Clark there, and the umpire said, "I'll have it again. I'll throw this ball up." He must be waiting for the final shot of the umpire. He throws it up in the air, and they go in after it again. Big Archer got it down. Here's Stokes, the clever Jared Stokes. In front there was Stafford, but he missed that one. Here they go in after it again. A little pack develops, crunching, and Campbell went over the top, but the umpire said, "Play on." A chance here for Buffalo. Clever handball. He'll be goalless. He's going to run to an open goal and slam it through, and that was number 18, I reckon, Ishmael.
Yeah, and that clever handball from Joey Collinson there.
Very smart, yes.
Just knew where he was, and Palmer just left his man and held his width out there and goes, "Thank you very much."
Ishmael Palmer, of course, the son of the great Palmer who played the Alice Springer. I can't give his first name, would you believe, but certainly the footballer's in his blood, and he slammed that one through. Some clever play too from the Darwin forward line, saying there was no panic then, and they skipped away to a 15-point lead.
They sure have. So we're pushing into half an hour of footy and some hot testing, humid conditions out here, and I'm sure everyone's hanging for that siren. And as you said, their second ruckman in Jordan Wilkins is going to sit in the ruck for Tars against the big fella Ben Archard.
Yeah, Archard giving Darwin plenty of drive too. Plenty of drive. And there's the quarter-time siren. So it's quarter time here at TIO Stadium, where the Buffaloes have got the ascendancy. They're 7-3-45. Waratahs are 4-6-30. And this is AFL&T's coverage of the round 17 clash here at TIO Stadium, Beyond Zero. And we'll be back very shortly with the second quarter.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
And welcome back here to TIO Stadium, where the Buffalo fans are up and about, Sam, because they're leading there 7-3-45 to Waratah 4-6-30. Big Stafford's got 2 goals, and so is Coco Nicky, the cocoa drinker. And 2 goals out of Joel Hillis from Waratahs, but they were certainly attacked there by some stampeding Buffaloes, and I'm sure Coach Cameron Stokes will be hoping his players come out with the same attitude in the second quarter.
They sure will, and those only a multiple goal scorer is Joel Hillis. So just confirming those goals that we couldn't quite see out of those quick packs. So Scooter Carlin got 1, Tyson McKenzie got 1, and Joel Hillis with 2 for the Tars as well, as Lockie Hill, Bradley Stokes, Ishmael Palmer all with 1s for the Buffs. So we'll see how Waratah respond this quarter.
Here we go. The umpire holds the shiny Sharon in the air, and he's going to throw it up. Big Kirby back on the ground against Archard, but Archard won it with a clever tap over the top. They go to Stacks on the mill, right on the middle of the ground, Sam, and they're still going in. Big Archer trying to scoop it up, and he gets a half kick. Trying to tap it on there for the Buffaloes was, in fact, Baxter Mensch, who's got plenty of touches already. And once again, it's in a packed situation. The Buffaloes go forward with a hurried kick. But a nice mark here to Tyson McKenzie, who's kicked a couple of goals himself and has kicked a half forward, but they can't mark it. Free kick, I think the umpire's pulled out. Gee, that was a 50-50 to young Brodie Carroll, but he'll offload somewhere, and he does know it bounces. Ordinary kick by Brodie. He'll be disappointed with that. Here they come to the Buffalo to the middle of the ground. A chance there, but once again they're going in hard both sides in this big round 17 towards 0 place. And here's my second favourite Buffalo, Ishmael Palmer. Daniel Palmer, son of the great Daniel Palmer. And here they go again with Charlie Sharp. Will take over the half-forward line. But once again, the ball in dispute. A chance there for Waratah to get it going, and lovely handball inboard. Left foot kick here to the wing position. Who's there? All going in hard. He copped it too, as Big Jack O'Sullivan. A handball back here from Scooter. He's in the middle of it all the time, Scooter Carlin. And the ball once again, the free kick, in fact, being pulled out to the Buffaloes. And that looks like number 35 again, Charlie Sharple.
Yeah, so he'll go for a quick hands to his teammate in Yaron. Yaron will send it inboard to the big fella in Stafford. Can't quite get under it. But both of them there in the Buffaloes boys, but Tars come out with it and a snap around the corner, but Palmer set up nicely. Who's going for the footy? One's shepherding, one's not going for it at all, but first to it is Carroll. He just knocks it out to Clark, and that's Will Clark there with the footy, and he looks inboard, looks into the corridor and finds his teammate in Toby Hutt, and he'll slow it down, but he takes a breath and releases Anchors, and Anchors does a nice short composed kick to Joel Hillis, and Joel Hillis goes long. There's no one in the goal square, and it's hit the post. So
just about to call his third goal, I was then too, but hit the post, and only behind to the Buffalo, to Waratah.
And he had time there, he had a paddock, and he just didn't straighten himself up to those goals. So Buffs have it inside in the back of their 50. Nathan Stewart just dropped that, bit uncomposed, but releases Hayden Brown, and Brown goes long down the wing to a 2-on-1, and Karanua's first to it, can't take the chest mark. So Buffs have jumped onto that, and they've got it inside their forward 50. It just bounces beautifully for the big fella in Stafford to pick it up. He's hit up James, but James has knocked it down to Lockie Hill, and Lockie Hill has a shot on goal. And it's just gone through the hands of Matty Campbell and through for a behind there.
Yeah, the veteran Matty Campbell, the pioneer superstar down there in Alice Springs. Almost, you get both hands to it, but Sharon slips through his fingers for a behind.
So Gleeson has the footy here for Tars in the square, so he just runs it out and kicks it outside 50. And he's looking for big fellow in Arnold Kirby. Can't quite take the mark, but he's got Alex pulling underneath him to rove the ball. Pulling gets a long handball over to him, then he goes have it back, but Baxter Mensch read it best, and Mensch goes inboard to Stokes, and that's Jared Stokes. He looks like he's going to line up on goal, and he's lined up for a behind instead. So another scoring shot to the Buffaloes.
Gee, Sam, they're fumbling a bit, the Waratah boys. Is it the pressure, or is it just the perceived pressure? Whatever. They're not the clean-handed Waratahs we saw early in the season.
Definitely must be the perceived pressure and the confidence there. So Crocker will take this one out. He has a bounce, and he goes a high up and under kick to no one in particular, but under it is pulling, and he takes a mark, and he'll go down that wing to his teammate in the runner in Anchors, and Anchors takes it and he goes and he's got a handball inboard to Carlin. Carlin handballs over the top, looking for his teammate in there. He's going to have a shot on goal. That looks like Hutt with it, and Hutt goes over to the number 0 in Magro, and Magro bangs it through, and they've gone coast to coast, the Tars boys, and it's just what they needed, and that gets Magro's first goal, and he's just pulled up a bit sore here.
Pulled up in the ankle, the right ankle, yeah, but you're right, a series of long handballs there right down the scoreboard wing, beginning with Abe Anchors, and a lovely handball over the top there by Toby Hutt. Found the spearhead in Jaden Magro wearing the 0 today, and towards 0 round, it puts them within 10 points. A very handy goal to Waratah. They were just starting to fumble a bit, Sam, but they probably thought, well, I'll show that bloke who reckons we can fumble how to play football. So it's his first goal. That's his 60th, by the way, for the season.
Only one behind the big fella from the districts in Jared Brander over there. So tight tussle at the top of the goal kicking ladder in this NTFL Men's Premier League side, but kick off the deck, and the Tars are going to take that advantage, and if kicking in danger and pulling just goes short. Got caught behind was Magro, but a big quick snap off the side, and that looks like number 25 possibly. I didn't quite catch who that was, sorry. Did you catch who it was, Gray?
I think it was big Jack O'Sullivan. There he is with the orange boots, receiving congratulations from the 0 man, the towards 0 man, and by that I mean Jaden Magro, who would be the captain of the club today in the absence of Dylan Collis. So all of a sudden they've gone bang bang, Sam, they're only 4 points behind.
Yeah, so great boot. They've had more scoring shots than the Buffs, and they're still 4 points behind, so they're going to have to make up something special here.
Some very good play there again as they went down the ground in waves, and I'm just looking there at the big fellow Arnie Kirby, where he's bent over with exhaustion or bent over in anticipation. Looked like anticipation, actually. Number 36, and up he goes against Big Archard, but Archard got it down. Went here to Tars again, though. They're going to run it out again. Here they come. A pass to the forward line, almost a mark to Magro. He goes in after it again. He's going to go around his left foot and have a snap. No, it got smothered, and they go in after it again. It's a pretty tough contest. A lovely handball here to my favourite player, Antonio James, but it ends up on the wing for the Warriors, and that's Timmy Kiranua who goes to the half-forward line. Here's Scooter Carlin, who's knocked up getting touches himself, but that kick smothered as well by his own teammate. Almost a case of friendly fire there, and it's gone out of bounds. Half-forward line for Waratah, who trail by only 4 points after 2 quick goals. 6-7-43, plays 7-5, and that's 47. The Sharon spinning back into play. The ruckman go up. Big Archer tried to punch it clear. Someone grabbed a bit high. I think what's the umpire going to call? Yes, a free kick. And coming back to have the kick, it looks like not Scooter. I reckon that might be Mackenzie, yes. He kicked a couple already. He lobs it high into the goal square. Up they go down there. Big fly from behind by a Buffalo defender. The Buffaloes are going in. There's a nice handball. Now he's grabbed too. Should be a shot here by Ryan Clark. Now he handballed it wide, and it's going to go through for a goal, I think. That's a very good goal. And that guy running back towards us with the blue boots is a goal kicker, I reckon.
Yeah, that's Abe Anchors there, and Ryan Clark really influential then. Just sort of quick hands, and Anchors so experienced, and such a big inclusion for the Tars boys today.
Yes, the boy Alice Springs, the federal superstar. There's 2 superstars out there today. Matty Campbell from the Buffaloes and Abe Anchors from Federal. They're both superstars in the Alice Springs competition, which kicks off in April sometime too, Sam. But yeah, another goal to Waratahs, and they're in front, 7-7-49 to 7-5-47. Been going 8 minutes in the second quarter of this round 17 clash.
So it looks like Wilkins going to be put back in the ruck against a big fella in Archard, and Archard will just outbody him, but Wilkins gets a bit of a hops on him, but can't quite get it out, and in and under there was Tars, but out the back is a Charlie Sharples, but he's met strongly by Cassidy, and Cassidy still pursuing that footy, but can't quite do everything himself. And over the top of that, a great bodywork from Matty Campbell there, and in and under Tars have got it but out the back through Bradley Stokes, and it's going a bit of ping pong here. It's just clocked one of the Tars boys in the face, and he's got a good falcon. That'll be a fine, and nevertheless Buffs have got it through Stafford here, and he'll umpire this game again, and he'll put his opponent in Daniel O'Dwyer on the mark here. He's just making sure, and he'll go, let's steady, boys, let's not play ping pong in the middle of the ground, and I'm going to have a long shot on goal here.
Sam, it's the fast leading Daniel Stafford today. We used to him taking those big grabs in pack situations, but he's certainly presenting some terrific options for his midfielders by the fast leads, and he's giving Daniel O'Dwyer a fair run around. He lines up here for his third.
Yeah, so as he comes, he's just gotten off the paint of the square. He'll go from just outside 50, and he's in a long, nice boot, and he's banged it home, and he'll be stoked with that, and that takes him to his third goal of this game already, and it takes the lead back off the Waratahs. So Buffalo's leading the Tars, 10 minutes gone, 8 goals, 553 to Waratahs, 7 goals, 749, and what a great, tight, tough game we've got on our hands, Gray.
It is. It's a real third versus sixth game, with the Buffalo needing to win to keep their final flame flickering. That's hard to say in a hurry. And Waratahs, of course, eyeing the double chance. So certainly the 4 points, a very valuable acquisition for whoever is in front when the final siren goes. When going 10 minutes. This is AFL and T's coverage, remember, of the round 17 game between Waratahs and the Buffaloes. And we're, of course, right in the middle of the very important towards zero round.
Yeah, so good contest in the middle there. Just adjusting there was Wilkins, but Tars have had a quick kick out. Big contest there. Buffalo's boys have taken each other out, and Carroll's going to pursue this, but Stokes straight on him, and Stokes keeps his feet. He's got a teammate in Campbell. Smart footy. He goes, I'm not faster than you, Stokes. You have it. I'll bash it out in front of you, but at the boundary line beats them all. Yes,
there's an old saying in football that experience is always going to count in big games, and Matty Campbell doing exactly that. Very clever tap. Unfortunately, it just bounced wide of Stokes, but they've advanced because they're right on the wing positions. The boundary umpire spins the football into play. Big Archer got in front and got it down, but that's all off the ground, a dangerous kick. But he got away with it. Here's the Buffaloes with a chance through Bradley Stokes. He dives in. Gee, they're going in hard. There's no half measures here today between the old rivals, Waratahs and Buffaloes. A free kick picked out, and it's going to go there to number 5 for the Buffaloes, who is Alex Pulling. And in fact, he hands it over there. It looks like Stokes, and he goes to half forward, but an easy mark there to Waratahs in the back line, and they're going to try and clear it out in a hurry because they want goals. They're trailing by 4 points. Here's a nice mark out on the wing position here to Mackenzie. Mackenzie goes to half forward, looking for and finding, in fact, this big fellow Jack O'Sullivan, and he'll go into the middle where he's spotted an unmarked teammate, and that is he missed his handball though, number 20, and that of course is Robbie Barty, the other boy from Federal too. He's come up to have a run with Waratahs, but a free kick there, and Antonio James was confronted by 2 red jumpers. So he decided the safe option is to tap it out of bounds at the 12-minute mark of the second quarter, with the Buffaloes 4 points in front, 8 goals 5 to 7 goals 7.
Yeah, and I was just about to get on ahead of myself there and say they've just done another lovely coast-to-coast, and then they've just stuffed it up just inside their forward 50. But as the ball comes back in here, tight, messy contest here. James at the bottom of that, just trying to hold it in and force that ball up. And I think they will get it, but the umpire's going to say, nope, that's a free kick. You drag that in. Antonio James didn't get it out fast enough, so Mackenzie will take that, does not use it very well, and cut off there by the Buffs player in Nathan Stewart in there. So he'll look to slow. I wouldn't mind seeing him switch here, but Tars got a loose in the middle, so he'll go long down the line. Sitting under it is Sketcher. Sketcher just pushed off the ball in there, but Mensch coming straight through with his strong body, and Sketcher at the bottom gets a quick hands out to James. James looks long, has got Sharples deep down there, and it's just going to roll over the boundary line here, and we'll get another ball in. As it goes out of bounds, Sam, we have got some stats up. Interestingly enough, the total disposal from both sides is very even, 67 to Buffaloes and 66 to Waratah. Inside 50s is another interesting one too. The Buffaloes are 18 and Waratah 19, so a very close, interesting context. Disposal-wise, Waratahs had 10 more disposal from
than their Buffalo opponents.
So the ball's been brought back in here, and Tarza's trying to move it quickly through the hands, and they do so, but they take him on, and that's got to be ball, surely.
Yes, that's handball. Good tackle there.
So Gleeson just took him on, couldn't get past.
Bradley Stokes as hard as nails. He wasn't going to let that guy run past him. And he's going to have a shot. He's going back for a shot, but I reckon out of the corner of his right eye, he'll be looking for a leading player. Might be just on his distance, Bradley. And he's going to go back. He's still thinking. He's still waiting for a lead, I've got a feeling, but there's no one moving, so he's going to have a shot. He winds up for the big torpedo, and he kicked it for one behind, yes. Was never really confident of the long shot, you wouldn't have thought. But no one led for him, Sam. That was a bit of a surprise.
No, and Daniel O'Dwyer will take this kick out, and he goes short to Will Clark. And our leading disposal getters are Baxter Mensch in 15 and Scooter Carlin on the 12. But
gee, what a surprise, Baxter Mensch.
Such a surprise in the 40-plus almost every week. But Tars have got it. They're just going to get it just outside their defensive 50, and Cassidy has a kick. He goes to play on, and he looks, and he's going to find a teammate who can't quite take the mark in Hillis, but he... So Buffalo's turning it over, and they find the leading disposal getter on the ground, but he boundary line beats Mensch there, so we'll get another ball in. And I think both teams are just playing a bit of slow play at the moment, just buying themselves a bit of time back and forth, and we can tell that on the scoreboard with only probably one goal kicked this, or a couple goals kicked this quarter.
Yes, interestingly enough, the two number 22s have figured high in disposals. That's back to Mensch, which you said for Buffaloes, and of course Scotty Scooter Carlin for Waratah. So the number 22, certainly an ominous sign out there this afternoon.
So
here we are, nearly 15 and a half minutes, just ticked over actually in the second quarter. Buffaloes are 8-6-54. Waratahs are 7-7 on that 49. The umpire throws it back into play. Big Arnie Kirby's through his opponent aside. The umpire said that's okay. And a nice mark out here to Jack O'Sullivan, who's coming into the game. A nice kick. And it'll find Ryan Clark, the former Sydney Swan. He goes for a hospital handball, but it worked. Because here's a shot for goal by Waratahs, and picked a pass in the end. And a nice chest mark taken out here by Brodie Carroll, who's looking to offload for some reason. He's only about 25 metres out. And he's must have had a look over his shoulder and said, gee, I'm not that far out. I might have a shot. The former skipper. And he'll go back and line up for a drop punt goal that'll put his side in front by a point if he kicks it. Only 16 and a half minutes gone, so it's been a very tight, very hard, tough contest, this one. Real finals atmosphere about it. And Brodie Carew fires on goal, and he's put it straight through the middle, right over the goal umpire's head. In fact, I was watching the goal umpire. The goal, you know how they go like that, throw their head back. 8-7-55 Waratahs, and Buffaloes are 8-6-54. So a good bit of play out of the middle again, began by big O'Sullivan there, and another goal to Waratahs. I think that's Brodie Carroll's first, Sam.
Sure is his first for this game. So the only multiple goal scorer is Joel Hillis, and he hasn't popped up this quarter with a goal, but other goal scorers in Jack O'Sullivan, Tyson McKenzie, Scooter Carlin, Abe Ankers, Brodie Carroll and Jaden Magro for this game for the Waratahs.
So what's that, 7 goal kickers, Waratahs. I haven't mucked around.
Lots of options up forward, and I need that heading into finals when there's tags and the heat of the game comes in. So Kirby versus Archard. Archard with the hops this time and gets a tap over, but Cassidy comes out the middle of it, releases Carlin inboard, and he's going to look for a teammate in O'Sullivan, but the boundary line is nearby, and Tarza quick clearance out and inside their forward 50, and they'll be happy to just lock that one in.
Yes, a very important intercept there by the Buffalo in Joel Hillis. It wasn't Joel Hillis, number 30 is actually Nathan Stewart. A very timely interception. And here's the football back into play. The chance here, the Buffaloes. Now he got bumped off the ball. Anchor's ducked. And will he be rewarded with a free kick? He will. What the umpire say? No old bounce. Which is probably fair enough too. It was a 50-50. He did duck into that. The umpire threw it up in the air. A clever tap back there by the big ruckman Kirby. But once again it goes into a packed situation. Someone else ducked his head there from the Buffalo. Here's a shot for goal by Waratahs, but it's away to the right. So
as we know,
goals 8:56 to 8:6:54. Been going 18 and a half minutes in the second quarter.
As we know, they love a goal from a stoppage this game, and Kirby had a crack but didn't quite meet it, and it's just been smothered by Mackenzie, and Cassidy will come off the back, releasing Hillis. Hillis just looks short, but the kick doesn't quite come off, and Yaron first there, but plays for that free kick, and he says no, and Ryan Clark's released Joel Hillis, and Ryan Clark has released Lachlan Cassidy. Sorry, I better give you your credit where credit's due, and a beautiful kick along the ground for Tar's 9th goal.
Smart bit of play there by Ryan Clark. Obviously AFL experience there. Saw the player on his own in Lockie Cassidy, who rolled it through a la Peter Dacos from the old days for Collingwood, and no problem. But I'm sure there'll be some old spearheads like Jason Dunster will be ducking his head and saying, why did you roll on the ground? But it worked. It's more importantly 9-8-62 to 8-6-54. They're 8 points in front, Sam. 19.5 minutes gone, so they've turned it around. They kicked 5 goals this quarter to Buffalo's 1.
Yeah, they have definitely turned it around, and I think what's helped them is some composure this game, this quarter. Just really lowering their eyes and just taking that second breath as the ball goes back up here, and Stokes reads it off the tap as it kicks it inside 50. It's cleared everyone, but out the back is Bradley Stokes, and it's just gone through for a behind. I reckon he had a bit more time than what he thought, but he's gone round on the left and going here. We'll just kick it behind, and Tarzi can have a kick out. So Crocker will take this, and as we tick into time on of this second quarter here, so Crocker's just going to run it out the square, and he's going to look long. He's looking long for Humphreys, and Humphreys takes beautiful mark there as he slows it down. He's got a couple of short options here, but there's not much is moving for him in there, but Pulling's going to say and call it and demand it, but he goes past him and he goes long. Williams in front position. He's got James there, but Scooter Carlin can't take it as the ball's just ping-ponging in and out of here, but Stokes so strong-bodied as he comes through, and he gets a short kick to his teammate, and he releases Yaron. Yaron's going to pop the ball inside forward 50 as that was it. Joey Collinson just turns his head on the footy and just plays and receives that free kick for a high contact.
Right, so coming back here is Big Stafford waving his arms around, but it's not him with the football. It's actually Joey Collinson, as you said. And a little bit quiet, Joey, but a very effective player when he gets hold of the football. And he'd be right on about 45 when he kicks it, so it's a fair thump. He'll have to put behind the Sharon. And he's moving in there with a trusted left foot drop pump we've seen so often from him, and it looks all right from here too. It's gone right over the goal umpire's head. That both sides making a habit of that. The umpire having to stretch his neck. And another goal for the Buffaloes. They're back in front. Gee, how many lead changes now, Sam? Must be 5 or 6.
Definitely got to be up in the 5 or 6 or so.
10-7-67 to 9-8-62. That's Joey's first. And a very good goal of Buffaloes. Well worked. And, yes, they're certainly putting on a show for their supporters.
Yeah, and I definitely think we'll be pushing that 30-minute quarter again with the significant amount of goals scored this quarter as well. So Tars pulling back to keep them inside the contest within a point here. So and just in the corner of our screen, I just saw Anchors and Palmer have a nice little cuddle while that kick was going on. So they found each other from both Alice Springs boys. So
yes, of course. Wilkins
just gets a nice ride on top of Archard over the top, but it comes down to Matty Campbell, and Campbell goes long inside 50 and goes, Stokes, I got you.
Gee, that's a lovely kick from the middle of the ground. He's found a leading player in a forward pocket in Jared Stokes. So that's what I was saying earlier, Sam. Experience counts in these big games.
Yeah, and I think Stokes just timed his lead beautifully there just to hold that space open and just knew where it was going to land. And I think he's having a breakdown forward, but I think he might steer this one home as he's walking in through the paint of the 50. The umpire's saying, stand, please. And his umpire said, play on, as Stokes has stepped off his line and he's banged it through. And that'll be Buffalo's 10th goal and Jared Stokes' first for this game.
Yes, they're 10-7-67 to 9-8-62.
So what an exciting contest we have here, and Buffs just extending that lead by the 5 points as we are ticking into deep inside time on of this second quarter here. with everyone ready back out there as the sun's just given us a bit of, the clouds have just given us a bit of cover here, and it's gotten very glary out there. So I'm sure we might see a couple more falcons. We would see a great one this morning, but the ball will go back up, and Wilkins again just leaps up high, but Archer just read it better, and he goes long inside 50. Palmer there, Nicky there, both pursuing it. Palmer first one, just loses his feet, but no free kick paid. And Clark just goes off the deck and says, get out of this defensive half here, and can't quite pick it up cleanly as Magro, and Archer goes off the deck as well. So it looks like there's some tired boys out there, but Croker says, I'll take it and I'll handle it long to Mackenzie. Mackenzie in pursuit goes out wide to Spence. Spence has a bit of a short run there looking for his teammate down the line in Carroll. Both the Catherine Camels boys, they know each other very well, as playing down there for a few years now together. And it'll just roll over the boundary for a throw-in.
Yes, he won a best and fairest and a premiership medal, Scotty Carlin, a couple of seasons ago with the mighty Camels, as the umpire throws the Sharon back into play right in front of the scoreboard. And they go in after. There's a big pack, Big Campbell, not Big Campbell, Little Campbell grabs his opponent. But going off the ground there for Waratahs was Mackenzie, but it once again went to a pack situation. And right in the middle of that pack situation too is Lockie Cassie appealing for a free kick, and the umpire said, all right.
Yeah, he just got
I'll
caught.
give it to the Buffalo. I'll give it to Chris Williams, yeah.
Cassidy just got caught under there, and Williams was just a bit smarter to hold that footy in and didn't really make the effort, so he's just pinged him for holding the ball.
So here they come with Antonio from the half-back line. He'll go to the wing position. There's a man in front there for Buffalo, but he couldn't get his fingers around it. There's a handball coming out, and some good play there, running hard at it. But tippy touch, Woodgie, they're tapping, they're hitting, they're tackling. It's a genuine finals game, this. And it really is a finals qualifier, Sam, if you think about it.
Sure is, and this ball's just been kicked out on the full, so Buffs will get a free kick here, as Matty Campbell's going to have to jump that fence to get the footy back, because there's no spectators on that far side of the ground, so go get your own footy.
I cringe every time I see that. If a bloke tweaks an ankle or does a knee doing that, there's going to be hell to play. But anyway.
Also those signs, they're all metal and they're quite sharp.
That's right.
So Matty Campbell will take this kick in on the far side wing, and he'll look to go long to a teammate. It's Stafford. He gets up there, just can't quite get it. And it's gone over, and we'll get a ball in, but great contest, and the big fella's just landed a bit heavy.
Almost the mark of the year. Although Big Stuff doesn't think so, because he's been a bit slow getting up.
Yeah, tall enough, he doesn't need to leap, but why not give us something to get excited about? So
I think he knocked the wind out of himself then, but slowly going back.
He's back on his feet now, and he'll walk back as his ball comes in, and Archer versus Wilkins, and throw in favours Archer, and he just tries to tap it down, but Tars read it better. Beautiful strength through the midfield there from Carroll, and Carroll gets a 1-2 back. Hot in pursuit was Stokes, but didn't affect the kick, and Carroll goes short to Jack O'Sullivan, who just says, let's take a breather, but don't spend too long because the Buffs are flooding back, and he finds Carroll. Absolute workhorse in that last 30 seconds there.
Has not stopped running, is he, Brody? And he's going to have a shot from about the same distance he kicked his first goal with, Sam.
Yes.
So hopefully he'll line up and not look for a short one. No one's talking to him, so he says, beauty, I'll kick my second here and put my side back in front. This will be about the 8th lead change, I reckon, in the game. Been going 27 minutes in this second quarter. Here comes Brodie Carroll, drop punt, and he has hooked it, I think. He has.
He got very close to the man on the mark there.
And only a behind, so it's 9-9-63, plays 10-7-67, 27 and a half minutes gone. AFL&T's coverage, of course, of the 23-24 season. This is the towards zero round game between the Waratahs and the Buffaloes. An intercept here by guess who?
The man of the moment, Brodie Carroll, and he goes short, and he goes, Magro, here, mate. Let's get you in the leader for the goal-kicking award this season.
Equal leadership if he kicks this, of course, yeah, for the Dennis Dunn medal. And that, of course, is for the leading goal kicker in the Northern Territory Football League. I don't know if Jaden's won the medal. He's been close a couple of times. But certainly if he kicks this, it'll be level with Big Brander from Districts, who plays later on tonight against Nightcliff.
Yeah, and the siren's just gone, so Magro better stay on that line, and he comes in on the left. Is he going to steer it home? And he does, and he gives himself a clap. So he just pinches that lead for Tars heading into our halftime break here. So we'll be back with you after a quick break in this round 17 clash between the Darwin Buffaloes and the Waratahs in the NTFL TIO Men's Premier League game.
You know Territorians go a long way for one another. So it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling expenses. And that goes a long way when you're away. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Looking for a fun day out with your family or friends? Putt on over to Palmerston Mini Golf. With our beautifully landscaped course suitable for all ages, you'll have a blast playing mini golf here at Palmerston. We offer the perfect setting for kids' birthday parties, complete with special packages to make their day unforgettable. And if you're looking to have some fun with your mates, we have you covered too. Play during the day or under lights. We're open until 10 p.m.
And we'll see you around Palmerston Mini Golf.
Find us at the Palmerston Golf and Country Club.
So we're here on a Friday night for our NAB AFL Auskick, where we run a girls only option and the kids are pumped, ready to rock and roll and have some fun with the footies.
We signed our daughter up for Auskick because her big brother did Auskick last year and she just loves it. I thought signing her up for a girls only group would be a great chance for her to kind of be with some friends in a comfortable environment.
The thing about a girls only team that I think Zoe really enjoys is that she gets to run around with like-minded girls. They get distracted, they do cartwheels, they hold hands, they sing. It just makes it a bit more of a fun experience.
I like Auskick because I get to play with my sister. We love Auskick!
A number of parents have asked if their daughter has to be in your girls group, and they don't. There will be some girls that will naturally just gravitate to brothers or cousins and join the boys group and have just as much fun if it were to be single sex. So yeah, there's definitely options there every Friday night.
My girls just love interacting with the other girls here. They love kicking a footy, they love learning the skills, and they love the hot dog at the end. I love joining in with my girls. I actually can't help myself, and I love to see the skills not only of my kids but of the other kids in their girls only group really developing over the clinic.
Evie just loves playing the games, learning new things. She'll be doing it then for the rest of the weekend, doing her favourite kicks, telling us how many goals she kicked on Friday night.
The best thing about Auskick is that it's really fun. It's lots of fun for them.
Yeah!
Barty gets the hand pass out to Mackenzie. Mackenzie kicks high and wide to half forward. Munkara's going to get there first. He takes the mark. Looked like he wanted to play on. He's called to play on, but clever enough to get around the player on the mark. Kicks long from outside 50 towards goal. It looks good. That's the way he likes it. Doesn't like the simple set shots, Nick. He likes to make it as hard as he can, and he did exactly that and pumped it through for the first goal of the game.
And said 3 goals, this shouldn't be a very long quarter at all.
Oh, the kick's just overcooked and gives Saints the chance. As the hand pass comes out to Dylan Lant, he kicks towards goal. I think he's snuck it through. It was Paredes who got it to Lant, and the 2 players down here as the ball hits the defensive 50. Some good work by Glover, paddled it out to the advantage of Dylan Lant. Dylan Lant on the right boot, kicks towards goal. You wouldn't believe it, he's put it straight through the middle from about a metre inside the boundary line. A goal out of nothing there for St Mary's. But quickly, the hand pass comes out here, the chip across the ground, and the mark's taken here by Ted Castle just at the front edge of the centre square. Saints attacking area. It kicks long towards the goal square. It could go all the way here. It's going to go all the way. That's a magnificent kick as Tex Corowa got back, thought about taking the mark, had a quick look at the goal line and saw it floating towards it and let it go. But Edmonds picks up, gets a dribble kick forward to the advantage of Paredes, who ducks back inside. He hand passes off, and now a long kick from Musgrave towards goal. It's going to go all the way through from just inside the forward 50 out there, and Mitch Musgrave having a terrific game tonight. One level, it's picked up by Klusky, but his kick was smothered, and now Cassidy again finds some space, kicks long. Everyone falls over except Magro. Magro out the back, takes the mark, runs off and bangs it through for a Waratah goal, a much needed Waratah goal. Set up behind the ball as Corowa comes across the front. The ball spills to the ground. Offerman's kicks off a step as into the goal square. I think Glover's got a toe to it and it's dribbled all the way through. He was celebrating when the ball was still a couple of metres out being chased. And he kicks long down towards half forward. The ball off hands, spills over the back. Musgrove trying to paddle it forward. Gets it to the advantage of Offerman's. He's got some space now. Runs towards goal. Kicks truly through for another St Mary's goal. Fist pumping in the air all the way. Just missed the target and Saints have pounced again. Tedcastle this time running through the centre square, delivers out in front of Glover. He takes the mark, he's off and running. He signals to Tedcastle in appreciation of the pass as he's running towards goal and then just keeps running and thumps it through. And the game's almost done, Nick. Woods again. And Davies looking to switch to the outer side of the ground. This is a dangerous kick. It's a chance for Tars now. As coming in there is Hillis. He takes it. Hand passes off to Magro standing in the goal square by himself. And just a bit casual there from Saints. Thought they had control of the ball, but plenty of Tars players working back. But Sauter does really well to get it back to Paredes. He hand passes forward to Jack Lant. Jack Lant off and running into the open goal from about 30 metres out. Just thumps it through. So as Tars just chipping it around the outer side of the ground. The siren goes to end the game, and in the end, a convincing victory to St Mary's, Nick.
43 points in the end, 3 points at quarter time, 4 at half time, 31 at three-quarter time, and they just finish it off then with a 43-point victory.
For Nightcliff at centre-half forward. He's gone the short option on the left. Pretty casual, but effective, and just advances the ball about 10 metres, and Cody Zust takes the mark. Stammering run up, kicks on the way. I think he's done exactly as you've said, Nick. And just squeezed it inside that left-hand goalpost. So the first goal of the game goes to Nightcliff, and it's Cody Zust. And Zust takes the mark. Now chips the ball forward, looking for Peris at half forward. It's a well-weighted kick. And Peris takes the mark over the back and goes back and steadies down. Peris kicks long towards goal. I think he's judged that one pretty well. He has. It's through for another Nightcliff goal, and this is a worrying start to the game for Pint Nightcliff with the first 3 goals on the board. He's himself from here. It's a long kick going right to the goal line. It's players fly for the ball. It's loose on the ground. There's a snapshot at goal, and I think it's good. It is. And that was Cooper Darms that got on the bottom of that. And Brad Ryan under a bit of pressure kicks inboard towards half forward. But Nightcliff again with the numbers in defence, and they just run it away. And now Moody has a bounce and then swings a hand pass out wide to Darms. Darms goes in towards goal and kicks it easily enough with an unprotected goal square and just put it through without much trouble whatsoever. But wasn't in any better position, and Nightcliff have turned this over again. Sing Lippo gets it out wide to Eilert. Eilert with a bit of time hits the pass. It gets over the back and to the advantage of Nightcliff as Buxton runs onto it, kicks towards goal. It's bouncing in the goal square and it bounces all the way through, and the big fella's got himself on the scoreboard from that passage of play. Cut across the front of the pack, got a hand to it and then controlled the ball at ground level. But it's Pint trying to bring the ball away again. Again, their skills let them down, and it's picked up by Darms, who thumps the ball in. He's celebrating as soon as he's kicked it, and it's another Nightcliff goal in this second quarter.
And that's Cooper's third goal for the night.
Forward, big leap from behind, and pulling it down. Rinaldi there just flicks the ball over the top and falls into the hands of O'Brien. O'Brien out wide, looking for Jones out there, but the ball spills to the ground. Here's a chance for Pint on the left foot, and it's through for a goal. They've got there first, and just looking to see who it is that they're all congratulating. The wing working his way to the front was Garnham. The ball was thumped away, but Brett on the run for Pint, kicks long, it gets it over the back to Jones again, but it slips through his hands. But at ground level, here's a chance, and the snapshot is good, And it's another pint goal in this last quarter, and this time it was Marsden who got on the end of that one. And Politis is going to go all the way back to Henderson as the siren goes and ends the game. One in which Nightcliff have had control for most of the game, Nick, but Pint did manage to put a little bit of respectability on the scoreboard in the last quarter.
Absolutely, 8-12, 60 to 3, 8-26, a 44-point win. So
kicks it in, Cantilla. Brendan Cantilla moves it quickly. This is what I love of the Tiwi Bombers. And has that carried over? I think it's carried over. It's a goal. They're just confirming it is.
Footy, handball now by Thompson, going back inboard to Cantilla. He shrugs the tackle, takes a bounce, runs inside 50 and puts it on the right. And whoa! Another goal for the Tiwi Bombers. Almost 13 minutes into this first quarter.
So Ryan hits it down to Jono Ross, if you don't mind. Kicked 9 last week and he's got his goal tally ticking forward with 1.
Flew, taps it backwards, but no one there. Front position, Tiwi Bombers gets the hands off, but it goes straight to Sam Smith. Smith looks straight at the goal, straight over the top of the umpire's head, and Sam Smith with a goal for the Crocs.
Field, the ball's tracked straight to him. Waistcoat takes it. Has a snap on goal. Brander's going to track this. He takes the mark and held up and then kicks the goal. But the umpire says, yep, that's okay. And Brander has his 5th goal.
Right, little toe poke on the boot now. Trying to work it out there, the Tiwi Bombers.
Advantage paid, and Anderson, he's kicked it. And he celebrates by grabbing his jumper. District's well in the lead now, 54 points. Tiwi, can they get a goal? They pick it up in the goal square, and they've got one. They've snagged one back there, the Tiwi Bombers. Well done. And I think that was Thompson.
Yep.
Hits the ground running. Poor Jimmy. Does it stay in? Nice. Poor Jimmy. Oh, can he kick it? Can he get the second? 2 in a row he has.
Oh,
poor Jimmy. Goal. Well done. And there is the man that I marked. Barry charging at the footy. Just puts it off. Well done, Dylan Barry. Ruska has a shot and he's nailed it. You can thank Dylan Barry, the pressure that he applied there on the back 6 for the Tiwi Bombers. And Brendan Ruska gets his first goal there by Braden Rioli. 1-on-1. Stanley Tipalura at the back. Kicks it off the ground and kicks it. Clever work there by Stanley Tipalura. Didn't have front position, sort of hangs back for that ball to come over the top, used his body. Heenan got a fist in there. Ryan, oh, good hand pass to Barry. This is his bread and butter. And this time he snuck it in. He has. So he's kicked his 4th. Oh, so Barry kicks it around the corner. I think we have lost our marbles. Brander picks it up. He kicks it. He's got his 7th. Finally, Brander kicks his 7th. Oh, he's dropped the footy. Umpire said no, play on. Thompson grabs it up. He picks it up. He kicked it. Well done, Thompson. What a goal there. Delahaye. Oh, here's poor Jimmy. The X Factor. Oh, he runs in, tightens up the angle, and he's kicked it. Woo! Well done.
What
poor
a great
Jimmy.
goal.
They've called it.
And so that's the game here in Southern District's run out winners. 2013, 133. The Tiwi Bombers, 11-3, 69.
Distance will certainly be an issue. A kick and a half out. So they go to play on. Sold the dummy nicely. Marley King can kick a goal. Marley King can kick a goal, and I reckon Marley King has kicked a goal. And Wanderers, they're in front. Hands Jared Stokes. Swings around, looking for who? Not sure. Not sure that was the right option. Coco Nicky swings around on the non-preferred left, and Nicky, I reckon's got it. For Jared Stokes. Stokes sells the dummy, swings around onto the right boot, did it easily, over the back, the mark not taken, handball, don't worry about the field umpire, and a goal kicked. That's Coco Nicky once again. That's front, it was Fuller. Fuller gets it out to Loftus, who's been good.
Is that your man again, Ian?
This is Bradley Stokes. Will kick around the corner, and I asked the last time he missed it from here, have you been practising this, Bradley?
Oh, no.
He kicks on goal.
Hang on.
And I reckon he's nailed it. He has been practising that. Bradley Stokes has got 3. Back to Jared Stokes. Stokes by hand, under pressure. Got to work harder than that. Kicks on goal. Out the back. Thank you very much. And Bradley has 4. Or has he missed that one?
No, he's got it.
He's got it, Bradley Stokes. The extra tall man, Cox, wins the tap. Gets it down. 2 bounces. Yaron has a bit of a look around. Takes his time. Steadies. Nick Yaron. Got another one. Not him, but Darwin. Took a step. Called a play on. Chris Williams. Inside forward 50. Matthew Campbell. Very good, Nostradamus. Matthew Campbell to kick on goal. Crosses the paint of 50. Kicks immaculate. Immaculate, if you don't mind.
He absolutely loves it. So do his teammates, and the lead, it's blown out to 52 points.
Yaron lost the footy. Playing soccer now, kicked off the ground both times. Jared Stokes, what can he do? Jared Stokes, of course he can. Of course he can. Jared Stokes got a goal. Buffs go forward. One way, out to Collinson. Collinson goes inside by hand. Picks up Nicky. Coco Nicky, I reckon he's kicked a goal. Well done to Matthew Campbell in there. Coco Nicky has got his 3rd. Can he take the mug? No, he's harassed. Well done. East has the presence to get rid of the football. Mensch, ungainly on the left foot, but effective. Baxter Mensch has got another one.
He's had a good end to this game.
Lewis misses everything. 15-17, 107 Darwin Buffaloes defeated the Wanderers 6-3-39. And we're back here at TIO Stadium for the blockbuster round 17 game. My fellow commentator Sam Clark and of course myself, Gray Morris. A very good game of football, Sam.
Yeah, it's a great game. Only 2 points in it, and Tars just sneaking over with that lead at the halftime break. So we're going to in for a thrilling last half here of this round 17 clash of our Men's Premier League TIO NTFL round 17 between Darwin Buffaloes and the Waratahs.
And of course we're out there for a towards 0 round, which is why Jaden Magra's got nothing on his back, and same as Jackson Clark from the Buffaloes wearing 0.
So the ball's gone back up here, and it's just become a bit of a game of soccer to kick us off as we then Ishmael Palmer just goes for a dive on the footy. And Nicky Yaron spots up the big fella in Stafford inside 50, and Buffs look like they'll score again in this first minute.
And there he is on the lead again, Sam, the big Staff. Used to him taking skyscraper marks. He tried one just before half-time, you may recall, and almost killed himself. So he thought, well, I might go back to leading. And a lovely kick there by Nick Yaron, who's been a little bit quiet, Nick. Hadn't been his usual prolific self, but he certainly set up big Stafford here for a shot at goal, which once again will give the Buffaloes the lead.
So he's coming in for his 4th goal. He gets under it, and it goes straight through for the Buffaloes' 11th goal of the game, and they'll snatch that lead back and say, thanks, Tars. That's ours to have at the start of this 3rd quarter. So that takes them 11 goals, 773, leading Waratah's 10 goal, 969.
Yes, a big goal by Staff. I saw him hobbling a little bit just before half-time, but he looks like he's had a can of cake or something, because he's up and running. Matty Campbell, his rival down there in Alice Springs, of course. Matty Campbell with Pioneer, and Big Stafford with South Alice Springs. But they're teammates today, Sam, and they're working well together, because the Buffaloes are leading by 4 points in a game they must win to keep that final flame flickering. There, I got it out that time.
You did. So Archer just gets over the top of Kirby in the ruck. And then it's come out the back to Anchors, who just picks it up. He looks for a teammate deep inside 50, and Magro just at the bottom of that reads it off the hands of Williams, and he snaps around and it's just rolled through for a behind.
Yes, Magro hasn't had it his own way today. He's kicked 2, but certainly he's had to work very hard for them. And perfect example there, where he had to have a snap with about 3 Buffaloes hanging off him, and all he get was 1 behind.
Sure did. So Buffs have kicked it back in here, and roving onto that footy was Cassidy, and Cassidy releases Pulling, who just looks in, and he's got a target all by himself there. And that looks like O'Sullivan, and he's going to go back and have a shot on goal. And he goes, nope, I'll go snap around the corner, and a quick play on, and he's banged it through. And that will be his 2nd goal for the game. And Tars just taking that lead back by 3 points.
Yes, a bit of smart work by the long-legged Jack O'Sullivan with the orange boots. He certainly sized it up and said, well, look, I won't have a set shot. I might just snap it over the shoulder. And he's put Waratah back in front. I reckon that's 9 lead changes, Sam, we've had this game. It's been a terrific game of football.
It sure has been.
11-10-76 Waratahs. There's 3 points in front of the Buffaloes. 11-7, that's 73. We've been only going for 3 minutes in the all-important, some call it the championship, 3rd quarter.
Yeah, so the ball's come back into the middle here, and Kirby will go against Archer again. And the Kirby just takes that spot underneath, and a great tap. Banged it straight forward, but Yaron first to it, and he's got Sharples there, and Sharples releases Mensch. Mensch around the corner in the pink boots on the left. And he's just... teammate in Palmer just got pushed under the footy there, and the Tars boys are shepherding for each other. And it looks like first to it will be Gleeson, but it comes off the Buffs, and Karanoa's pursuing this footy. He keeps his feet. Is he fast enough to do it? He's trying to play for a holding free kick, but he's not going to get it. And Coco Nicky just throws the skinny little fella to the ground, and play on, says the umpire, but still in dispute. Kirby gets a tap forward. Jackson Clark in the 0 there, coming through with the footy, but Ryan Clark for the Tars underneath it and kicking it out. But Cassidy there, Palmer there, just throwing his body at the footy, and Stokes comes out the back with a quick handball out to Clark, and Clark goes in for a kick, but smothered off the boot by Kirby into Sharples, and Sharples finds the big fella again on the lead in Daniel Stafford, and at 4 minutes into this quarter, and he is influential, and he's going to come right on the right. He goes for a snap on goal, and he's just hung it to the right for a behind. So he had a bit more time there than he would have thought.
Yes, Big Staff, he had a chance for his 5th goal, but unfortunately away to the right. And here come Waratahs now with a big thumping kick out of the back pocket. As far as the wing, up they go. Nearly a nice mark there to number 30 for Waratah. That's Joel Hillis. He gets a handball going, but the umpire will call it back.
I think they've had a free kick for in the back, so Hillis just pushed him in the back as he's tried to push him under that ball.
Free kick, is that Stewart? And he'll go with the left foot anyway, looking to centre half forward. He's got a couple of targets down there, including Antonio, but Waratahs come in and take the mark at centre half back. They go to the middle of the ground, looking for and not finding his teammate there. The Buffaloes have got it in possession here. That's Antonio. He couldn't get it, but here comes Mensch with a beautiful kick. Oh, he dropped it like a pudding. He'd been looking for the sixpence, Matty. But he's good enough to get around on his left foot anyway, but it goes away to the right. So, unfortunately, lost opportunity there for the Buffs. Matty Campbell spilling an easy mark. And they trail by 2 points only. 5 minutes here into the third quarter.
Yes, Humphries will take this kick out. He booted it down the corridor, but he's going to look to the pocket here. And he finds a teammate in Tom Spence. The Catherine Camel up here playing for the Tars. And he's just buying some time, waiting for a lead, and he's got a couple, but he goes to a big, thick contest of people down the line here. Sitting under it is Xander Nash, sitting under it is Hutt. Nobody can take possession except for Coco Nicky, and Coco Nicky releases Stokes. Stokes gets a handball away, and a high tackle there should be paid, and it will. So Tars will take this ball through Toby Hutt, and he'll look to switch it across the ground. And he's got a teammate there in Tars. So Tars get the ball down long. There it is. He's Alex pulling all by himself. He's got another Tars player in Brody Carroll there. He just takes a mark, and they're running all over the Buffs right now, and he releases Cassidy. Cassidy releases Pulling. Pulling finds a short option in O'Sullivan, and he's going to look to play on, and he does. And he's going to find Cassidy again. So Cassidy will take a set shot on goal, looking for his first for this game.
Yes, and no, he has kicked a goal in the second quarter, Lockie. Yep, so he'll go back for his second. But once again, Tars going coast to coast there, Sam. Some very good foot passing indeed. Finding space, though. The Buffalo backline will be a bit disappointed with that they didn't man up. And he fires for goal, Lockie Cassidy, and he's put it through, I think. Straight over the goal. Umpire's head again. That's their 12th goal. They're 12-10-82. And they lead by 7 points. The Buffaloes are 11-9-75. Been going nearly 7.5 minutes. And it's round 17 clash here at TIO Stadium, being brought to you by the AFLNT. And of course, we're here for Beyond Zero Round. No alcohol while driving, Sam.
No, and it's towards zero round, and that's reducing the fatalities on our road. So that's why our captains of today and our number one umpire in there, Samson, are wearing the number 0 on the back, and all the boys are wearing yellow armbands for all the lives lost on territory roads every year.
Terrible, isn't it, really?
Yes, sure is. As the ball goes up there, Archer just won that one over Kirby, but Carroll's first there. Picks it up cleanly. He's got a couple of teammates out wide, and it goes long down the corridor. Looking to get over the back. Jack Sullivan read it best. Just doesn't quite take it and plays for the free kick, and it's not coming. But he just grabs onto his opposition, and Buffs are going to take that free kick there through Jackson Clark. On cue, the number 0, and he gets it out to Mensch, who takes a mark, but he just slows it down, and he's going to go down the line into the middle of the ground, but can't quite take it, and overrun by Tars. There's 5 of them there waiting for it. And he's short kick inboard to Clark. Clark releases Carlin, but Carlin's run down by James and doesn't get a good kick away, and Sullivan uses his body. He's looking a bit tired, gets a soccer kick off the deck, and it's come out through Williams, but it's been ping-ponging in there all day, and Clark's about to pick it up. He's got a teammate there. He's got Cassidy again. Cassidy's going to snap around the corner on the right, and he goes bang. That's my third for this game. Thank you very much. So Lachlan Cassidy keep kicking Tars with a nice little lead ahead, leading 13 goals 10-88 to 11 goals 9-75 for the Buffs, and this game is exciting still in this third quarter.
Yes, and the Buffaloes have to lift them, otherwise this game will be gone, because Waratahs have got a sniff. They're playing the possession football that got them to the top 3 position on the ladder, and Waratah Tars just have to tighten up. Buffaloes, especially down back where they seem to be finding a lot of space for their Waratah forward line. 13-10 plays 11-9, so they've kicked 3 goals already this quarter in almost 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I think the first quarter, Tars are just bombing it in long, hoping for the best. Now they're just showing a lot more composure and just that run and carry straight through the middle there, and using the corridor to really get them forward. So Kirby won that tap. He's got some runners. Tars go inside 50 once again to a contest, but standing tall was Williams. Well, that looks like Moroney, sorry. So Moroney's taken a mark deep inside their defensive 50, but he's turned it over straight to Toby Hutt. And Toby Hutt goes, I'm just going to settle us and take us back and see if I can extend this lead.
Yes, they're Showing a lot of poise, Waratah, in the most important quarter of the game. If he kicks this, they're out to a 19-point lead, which will be a bit disappointing for the Buffaloes because they work very hard to get where they are. And Toby Hutt looks very intent on hammering another nail into the Buffalo coffin as he he might be intent, Sam, but he certainly sliced it off the outside of his right foot. It's gone out on the full by about 20 metres around there. And I don't think he'd be riding home to mum and dad to talk about that kick.
Not at all. And he's just given Buffs a nice free run at the footy as two blokes go up from it and Brown comes off with it on a mark for Buffaloes, so he'll take it back. He's looking to go short to James and it just comes off the knee of James, can't quite take it. And first to the footy there was Barty, the bloke from Alice Springs, but Mensch so strong and so smart and gets a handball and releases Stokes. Stokes is going to go long to Stokes. They know where each other are and a great diving contested mark. And that looks like Nick Yaron, sorry.
He might have hurt himself. No, he's all right.
Yaron plays on here. There's a tussle deep inside 50 there. I'm not sure which way it's going to go. I think it's a shepherd off the ball, and I think Buffs are going to come off with it here. So off the ball there, the umpire, Sampson, just keeping his eyes open as he should. And he's picked out a free kick, so Buffs will take this back through Bradley Stokes and have a kick on goal.
Badly needed goal, this one, and Bradley will know that. In fact, Nick Yaron runs past him and whispered something to him. So you better make sure of this, Bradley. He's only about 20 metres out as well, so he should steer this one through without any problem. Bradley, I hope commentators curse on him. No, I haven't, because it's a nice goal.
You have not, so Stokes guides that one home just to keep them just in this game. So a short 7-point lead to the Tars, and they're just going to keep themselves in it and really say we're still here to keep kicking goals.
Yeah, it's a very important goal there to Bradley. The free kick was for what? For a...
Looked like a bit of a holding or a shepherd, and it was a bit, both boys ended up on the deck and a bit of a roll around in the about 20 out. So I'm assuming a bit of a shepherd or hanging on there. So a bit undisciplined from Tars.
So that puts Buffaloes back to within 7 points, which will please the coaching staff because it looked like they were going to drop off the pace a bit. But a handy goal out of Bradley Stokes, and the bounce in the middle about to happen, and up goes the Sharon. Like who's rucking?
Sketcher there for the Buffs.
For Buffaloes. It's taken Archard's spot for a while. Almost a mark there to Williams for Buffaloes. The Tars are in command here. Nice handball over here to Hillis, who hadn't kicked a goal since the first quarter. He's lined up here on number 21. He bangs for goal. And that's A. Bankers, Alice Springs boy, and it's only a behind. So Abe normally swallows them, so he'll be a little bit annoyed rather than disappointed, I think. And here's Moroney about to get the Buffaloes going from the last line of defence. He goes into the back pocket, and it's marked there by Mensch. This will be about his 18th or 19th possession, I think. The left foot kick to the wing position. Up they go. No one could mark. Chance here for Tars to come forward again, though. They've got numbers around the football. A nice handball backwards to the long-legged Jack O'Sullivan. Here's a shot for goal by Tars, and he looks like he's banked it. Snowy's out, and he's sliced it away to the right, in fact. And it's out of bounds. Rolls out of bounds, not out on the full. So it'll be a throw-in. Almost 14 minutes gone in the championship third quarter. Buffaloes are 12-9-81, but they trail Waratahs 13-11-89.
So the ball's burned back in, and Hutt just wins that tap and releases Magro, but a great smother by Stokes. Stokes has followed up his own work, and Buffs are going to get it. And then Sharples just loses his feet there, and he's in tight tussle with McKenzie. And Magro's in there as well, but coming off there, Stokes just using his feet. Boys are flinging their bodies around everywhere, and Anchors ends up with it. He takes off, but he's collected by Buffs, and Hutt releases Magro. Magro releases Hutt, and Hutt turns around on the right, and he's held it left for a behind. So tight scoring in this game.
A little bit unlucky then, Big Hutt. He seemed to be tackled high, but the umpire said play on, and he snapped for goal, unfortunately, away to the left.
So Buffs bring that back in here, and Sharples with the mark on half back. He'll look inboard to use that lovely corridor Tars have been using all day, and he finds a teammate through Stokes, and that's Jared Stokes having it, and he's just going to push back and look for an option. He's calling his teammates towards him, and he just runs off the line there, and he's got Stafford out on the lead again. He's a bit far from home this time, so he'll look to give it off. But he's just going to go, let's slow down. Maybe a switch is on. Maybe not. Tars have covered that. Now come to me. So he's going to go backwards. Sometimes you got to go backwards to go forwards, and he finds his other teammate in Bradley Stokes, and Bradley Stokes goes short to Darcy Sketcher, and Sketcher just goes long to a contest. You got Ishmael Palmer over there with the big spoil, but off the deck through the middle of the sticks, Kyle McBean, thank you very much. Lovely soccer kick off the deck by McBean there, and that will keep Buffaloes within 3 points, just teetering on that edge, not letting Tars run away with it.
Yes, a real opportunist goal there by young McBean, playing against his old side, coincidentally, Waratahs. He'd be pretty happy about that because it brought his side within 3 points. An off-the-ground opportunist goal, 13-9, that's his 13th goal. They're 13-9-87. Waratahs are 13-12-90. Been going 16 minutes in this quarter, so really it's who wants to win this game the most, Sam, from here.
Yeah, it sure is. And Sketcher just gave Archer his first break, I reckon, for this whole game in the ruck. And I think they're just looking to finish strong here as Wilkins, the second ruckman for Tars, comes in. But Archer's going to take it, and Wilkins goes straight over the top because Archer's just held his ground at the bottom. And the non-officiating umpire, non-in-control umpire's called the free kick to Archer there for a tunnel. And Archer releases Stokes. Stokes getting it just to the top of that 50, and out the back with a quick hands is Joey Collins, and Collins releases Palmer. Can Palmer snap around and go bang another goal? Not quite.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity, Ishmael.
Just hit the woodwork.
That would have been a very handy goal too, and he normally sweeps on them, Ishmael. He just overcooked it a bit.
So Tarza brought this one back in short to Croker. Croker's going to go long, and he's got Magro, looks like, out on that. So that's Cassidy there, out on that far side wing by himself, takes an uncontested mark, and he goes back to Croker into that famous corridor they love. And Buffs are just sitting in this corridor now to try and stop them. But coming forward was Hillis. Hillis releases Cassidy again. Cassidy just bangs it in to their half forward and goes, we'll have a boundary throw in.
Yes, they're finding it hard to pick up their Waratah opponents when Waratahs have got the football, which has been a problem for the Buffs all day, but they're within striking distance, only 2 points. They could tighten up a little bit in the back line, Sam. There'll be a real chance to win this.
Yeah, so almost equal scoring shots with Tars just 2 points ahead as this ball comes back in, and Archer again with a tap over the top, but it's just going to roll back out. So we'll get another ball in. And
you're right about Cassidy and Jaden Magro. They've both got those shiny craniums, and they can be very hard to pick. But one is wearing 0 and one is 7. That's probably the only way we can tell the difference, isn't it?
And Cassidy just swaps around where he is, but I guess Magro's always going to be in the forward line. But Cassidy's popped up and kicked goals today as well for him. So the ball beats them all, and Stokes just getting dragged off the footy, and Cassidy pursuing that. But we're going to have another boundary throw in on the far side.
Yes, a bit of a draw at this stage. Nearly 18 and a half minutes gone in the third quarter, and we're going to have Big Archard, and he's going to be up against his Waratah opponent in Wilkins. The ball came to ground after that. There's a chance there for Waratahs to go forward through Cassidy. He kicks it to half forward line. Is it out of bounds? No, it's not. Still in contest. Here's a chance for Waratahs. Hillis running into an open goal. He's going to handball. He is. Left it a bit late though. Ooh, they're going to get away with this. Left foot snap by Carolo. Plenty of poise there from the former skipper. And that's their 14th goal, and that's Brodie's second goal, in fact. A lovely left foot snap over the top. 14-12-96, plays 13-10-88, so 8 points of difference. Been going almost 20 minutes, just ticked over 19 minutes, and a very important goal. And once again, probably against the run of play a bit then too, Sam.
Yeah, and they just worked really beautifully there. They didn't rush it. They didn't go for a quick kick on goal. They just went for the hands and worked it out as just like a little training drill there, and just found their best option in Carroll, just composed enough to bang it through on the snap on the left.
Yeah, showed plenty of poise, no panic, as good footballers do.
So Wilkins will go up here against Archer in the ruck as we're about to restart, and we're heading into time on here, and Archer just runs over that line and pulls it down, and Mensch first to the footy, picks it up, goes round on that famous left foot, finds his teammate in Coco Nicky as he's sold a little bit of candy there to go, here Maddie Campbell, I'm going to try and give this one, but Karen Noah, the youngster, just comes through with the fist, the golden fist. Tom Spence pursuing this footy. He's got a 2-on-1. He doesn't quite get it over the line, and Buffs with a few numbers here, but Tars getting back. James is close to the boundary line. Maddie Campbell goes, I'm going to try and keep this in, but it's not the case to be, and the boundary umpire says, I'll have it and I'll ball it in for you boys.
Bench still the leading possession getter for Buffaloes, but the guy who's taken over at Waratahs is the former Swan we talked about, Ryan Clark, getting plenty of the football.
Yeah, he's been a bit quiet this quarter, I'd say. I've seen him pop up a few, but Tars have had some others stand up as well this quarter, but Clark's been quite influential in just getting that run and carry out. So deep inside Buffs forward 50. Big Stafford goes up, knows where Nicky is, but O'Sullivan read it best off the back, and he boots it inside the corridor. Hillis pursuing this versus Moroney. Moroney goes, I'm going to take that on, and he does, and he gets a quick handball out to Grant, and Grant finds Williams. Williams goes in short. Campbell's there. Campbell calls out McBean and says, I'll have it. A-Bank is not happy with that, doesn't want to give away to a colleague down in the Alice region. And Campbell's right on the paint of 50 here. He's going to put it to the top of the square. He's got Stafford there, and Stafford just works Daniel O'Dwyer under the ball and goes, thanks, I'll take that. A nice, easy chest mark there. So
I'm very glad you brought up Big Stafford, because I've been looking for his stats and I've just found them, thanks to our backroom staff here. Young Ryan's done a good job. That's his 9th mark, Big Daniel Stafford, so he's done very, very well indeed. And he'll go back and shoot for his 5th goal, which is probably even more important for the Buffalo boys. And here he goes from a forward pocket.
So he's walking in. He just takes a couple of steps, puts it on the right, and it goes straight over the goal umpire's head. So that's Buffaloes keeping themselves again back to 2 points in that lead, in trailing Tars, sorry. It's 14 goals, 10-94, trailing Waratahs 14 goals, 12-96, and what an exciting last quarter we're setting up for ourselves here.
Yes, and the real Daniel Stafford has certainly been out there this afternoon. 9 marks and 5 goals, most of them on the lead. That one was particularly on the lead. He's given a very highly rated fullback in Daniel O'Dwyer a little run around today. He's certainly been a target all day for his running players out of the middle.
Yeah, as he said, Stafford's usually clunking those marks, so Dwyer probably expected him not to lead as much, and he's just given him a metre and he's taken a mile every time, Stafford. So he's played a smart game as we back in the middle, and Kirby's going to come in for this last couple of minutes here, and he wins that tap over the big fella in Archer and releases Anchors, and Anchors never really took possession of that footy, and Buffs are going to argue with it, and Baxter Mensch not happy there, but he goes a nice little chest pass from netball back to Anchors, so bought himself some time and his team some time to flood back as Anchors goes looking for his teammate in O'Sullivan and nearly clunked that mark, but Kirby with the rove picks it up. Carroll's out there. What can he do? Can he spin around? And he doesn't quite get a hold of that, but the 2 zeros go at it. It's Magro and Clark. Both fell over, but a quick handball from Cassidy out, and the umpire was right there in front, and he's gone, Cassidy, you threw that one. Here you go, Jackson Clark have a kick, and Clark's going to go for the switch. And that they do, and they've released on this side out Antonio James, who'll spin inside out. Tom Spence goes for a smother, but James close to the boundary line. It's just bounced inside before rolling out. So great pressure from the Darwin Buffs in the back line there.
Yes, they're working hard now in the back line. They know they've got to restrict Waratahs if they're going to win the game. They're only 2 points down, nearly 24 minutes gone, and the boundary umpire chucks the Sharon back into play. There's Archer, tries to kick it from between his legs, but he couldn't get it. Will Clark there for Waratah. Nice handball here from Arnie Kirby, but it's one-handed mark by Jaden Magro, not good enough. You've got to go 2 hands for beginners, Jaden. Up they go. There's nearly a nice mark. He kept it in play, did he? That's Nick Yaron, but it's gone over the boundary line. Matty Campbell appealing for a free kick for a late tackle. But the umpire said, give it here, Matty, let's get on with the game. I'm the man in charge, the boundary umpire, that is. So he's not actually in charge of the game, but definitely in charge of the ball when it goes over that white line. And you'll throw the Sharon back into play. Archard against Kirby. Kirby got it down, but it went to a Buffalo. He overran it. It's a chance for Chris Williams, who throws himself on the ball. But once again, Stacks on the mill. It's been virtually that all day. Will Clark with the blue boots has been told he's got there's a bit of push and shove going on. I thought things were getting a bit warm in there, Sam. Bit
they are getting spicy on the scoreboard, getting spicy in there, and I think Kirby was just held on, and he's just going to stick his boot out, and Jackson Clark's in there. Matty Campbell is trying to stop it here. Yaron's got something to say to Kirby, so I think there's a bit of heat here coming out, and that could cost either team the game with only 2 points in it.
Yeah, a lot of pushing and shoving going on, but the Buffalo's in to go long to the half-forward line, looking there for Ishmael, but he couldn't get it. There's a chance here for to get Sharple's got his hand to it, but didn't get it. Tar to run it down the wing. I don't know how, but it's been intercepted though by Chris Williams, who kicks it up in the air by kicking for touch in a game of rugby league. Ooh, coming through hard then was Bradley Stokes, but he missed it. Jared Stokes got it, and guess who he's found? Big Daniel Stafford for his 10th mark. This has been a great game by Stafford. The type of game that Chris Ford, the coach of South Alice Springs.
It's going to be a 50 paid here as well.
A bit of back chat, I think, from someone.
I think so. I think Tars weren't happy with that flying arm coming from Stokes in the middle there, with the Tars player clopping one in the face. Looks like he's bleeding, so I assume there'll be a blood rule here, and I think that would be reviewed during the week.
Yes, they'll have a look at that.
Flying fist, and tempers are just flaring in the middle while Stafford's got a shot on goal here, and I would assume he'll take this and he'll say thanks for my 6th goal for the game. But the boys are getting heated in the middle, so this siren would be nice if it just went soon, just to calm things off.
Yes, there's a lot at stake in this game, Sam, and I think both teams have realised there's only a quarter left, and there's only, 4 points of difference, so it's anybody's game, really, and this guy coming off
like
the
Jordan
Waratah,
Humphreys is the receiver of that.
Bleeding some red claret, and I'm sure that incident will be looked at by the match review committee on Monday night.
That's not my job, though. I'm just here calling the game for you all, so I'll leave that to the tribunal and the umpires themselves to make that call.
Leave it to the experts, you think?
Sure will. So at least we've got the ball back in the middle, and we're just a little bit spread out here. We can't have long, but Archer just wraps Kirby up, and Kirby will get that free kick in the middle of the ground, and he's looking to play on quick, but he doesn't realise that Buff's bloke's sitting in there. So Kirby goes long and cut off by Grant. Beautiful, composed mark.
Xavier.
And Mensch is calling for it, but Grant's played on. He's a bit indecisive here, and he's going to go wide to looking for Sketcher, but Sketcher's got to beat 2 Tars blokes, and one of them being Brodie Carroll, one of them being Tyson McKenzie, and he does it himself. And he turns around on the right and he swings looking for his teammate in Joey Collinson, and Collinson's got a 2-on-1, and he says the boundary line is my friend, and I'll rush it over.
Yes, sometimes players love that wide line. Gets them out of a bit of strife, and it did then. 15-10 plays 14-12 favour of the Buffaloes, Sam. We've been going nearly 28 minutes. In fact, it just ticked over in the third quarter.
Lots of goals this game as Archer and Kirby go up at it, and Kirby just giving Archer a little cuddle there in the ruck, and Mensch has just popped out the back of it. He gets a boot to it, and Karanua attacks it first, and we're going to have a siren here, and Stokes just pushing Karanua. I think tempers are going to just get a little bit heated.
They're still
right now.
Yes, we'll just stay with this for a second. What's going to... No, only a bit of pushing and shoving. There's a bit of excited young men, that was all.
Samson's taking control there. So as we head into this third quarter break, we're setting ourselves up for a great last quarter with Darwin Buffaloes leading 15 goals 10 100 to Waratah's 14 goals 12 96 as they're moving to their huddles now. And we'll be back with you after a short break for the last quarter.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, If you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Yeah.
And we're back here at TIO Stadium for what has turned into a blockbuster round 17 game. This is towards 0 round, of course. Don't drive, don't drink. But it's a great game, and both teams are very, very sober, I can tell you, because The Buffaloes lead by 4 points, 15 goals, 10 to 14, 12. But really, Sam Clark, my fellow commentator, it's anyone's game.
It absolutely is, and I'm tipping the Tars to just take the chocolates here with their composure, but if Buffs are going to bring that physicality in the last quarter, I think they'll run them over. So
yeah, it's started getting a little bit heated, didn't it, towards the end of the third quarter, so hopefully they've had a cold drink and cooled themselves down a bit.
Yep, so we got Kirby starting in the ruck against Archard. Anchors has gone into the middle. They got a strong midfield, Tars do, but straight down to the throat of Hillis, and Hillis gets it out to Cassidy. Cassidy puts it on the boot, goes long. Williams can't quite take that mark, but coming at it, Cassidy again follows up his work in the middle, and a short kick finds Tommy Spence. He's been in the back line all day. Can he kick Tars' first goal? And he does. He'll be stoked for that, and that gives them the lead in the first 20 seconds of this quarter.
One word comes to mind there, Sam, with that goal: efficiency. They used it beautifully. Short handball, short kicks, and of course finishing off with a very simple goal, and that's what they have to do, is put them back in front, of course, 15-12 to 15-10, but it was the efficiency rate that Ryan Ayres and his coaching staff will be very happy with.
Yeah, they just flooded forward with those numbers, and Cassidy in their mix there, Hillis in there, and they really just pushed and pushed and pushed and supported each other to get that ball forward and get the ball back into the middle.
15-12, as I said, to 15-10. Only been going a minute in the last quarter. The Sharon goes up in the air. Archard got it down. It went to his teammate there, but he was jumped on by about 3 Waratah players. And here Waratah might get it. No, Buffaloes will get it out. They go forward looking for Big Stafford. He's behind. He's tapped it cleverly, though, over the back to
Coco Nicky there.
Coco, was it, or Ishmael? It was Coco, and he's kicked a goal. A magnificent goal, very similar to the first goal they kicked in the game. Popped it over his left shoulder, and an instant reply there by the Double Blues. 16-10, 106 to 15-12, 102. And they're in front with not even 2 minutes gone in the last quarter.
Yeah, what an exciting first 2 minutes this quarter. And I actually think it's going to come down to who's hungrier. So Tars were just hungry in that first minute, and they thought, oh, okay, let's settle things. And Buff said, nah, let's swallow this one up. And down they go, and that magical tap from Stafford just knew exactly where Nicky was.
Yeah, and very clever.
Nicky knows where the goals are all the time. So we'll take this one back to the middle, and we're back to 4 points in it with Buffs leading.
Here we go again then. Just 2 goals in the first 2 minutes. What type of quarter are we in for? Here come the Buffaloes again through Stokes. He goes with a long ball. Where is Stafford? He's behind. And a nice mark here to the Waratah defender. Looks like Humphreys, is it, back on the ground?
No, I don't think that was. I think it was O'Dwyer. But
nice short pass anyway, and Waratahs have got control of it. And a diving Snowy dropped that slips catch. Here's Mentz getting the handball back. He wanted it back, but didn't get it. Went to the half, and there's a nice mark again. Looks like Coco again.
Smart footballer, and he didn't want to play on there because he's aware of the point of the game. He could put his side 10 points up, or he could only go 5. So
very, very clever mark, wasn't it? He sort of used his opponent's body a bit to sort of lean into it and take a very nice mark. The former rugby union champion, Coco Nicky. As I said before, he may be a cocoa drinker. Maybe that's where he got his nickname from, although his actual name is Coquam. And it's Coco lining up the drop punt. Very important kick, this one, Sam. If he kicks this, as you said, 10 points up and in a position to grab a very, very handy win. It's Coco, the slow approach, very calculated, but he's hooked it.
Takes his full 30 and just thought about that a bit too much there. So he puts his side just the 5 points ahead. And Tars will have this kick out, and they go short. Better be good, better be marked, and it is by Cassidy. He's been great all day. He's going to look to play on, and he does, and he goes for another short option. And the big fella Kirby sitting there. Kirby looks to go inside, and he finds O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan doesn't even go back over his mark, and he finds his teammate in Clark. Clark's popped back up here, and he finds Tommy Spence.
Geez, Sam, there's been some pinpoint disposal, hasn't there, by Waratahs all day?
Sure has, and Spence goes on the right to the top of the 50 there, and he finds Sharples in the opposition there, but Tars have numbers. They're pushing again. They're pushing through Carroll, through McKenzie. Can McKenzie kick his 3rd for the game? I think he can. So Tyson McKenzie, apologies, your 2nd goal is just kicked and that puts Tars 1 point ahead in this game.
It is going to go right to the wire this game. 32 goals kicked already in this round 17 blockbuster for the towards zero round. 16-11 to 16-12, one more point each, and there'll still be a point the difference, Sam. So it's been going nearly 5 minutes in this last quarter. A goal there by Waratah has put them back in front. I reckon that's the 12th time.
Well, yeah.
The 12th lead change in this game. It's been unbelievable.
I couldn't tell you, but as you said, though, the accuracy of these passes is just what really brought Tars to go coast to coast just then.
Pinpoint disposal for sure. The umpires are about to throw the Sharon up. We've got Archard against his immediate opponent. That's a big fellow, of course, Arnie Kirby, but the ball goes to half forward for the Buffaloes. Joey Collinson there in the van, but he's pushed over the line by his opponent, Will Clark. And there'll be a boundary throw in half forward for the Waratahs, for the Buffaloes, who lead. In fact, they trail by a single point. Could have been 10 points in front if Nicky had to kick that goal a couple of minutes ago. Here we go, the ball back into play as Kirby got it down, but there's a free kick being picked out. It's going to go to Big Archard, who was the man in front. He doesn't waste any time. He goes long looking for Stafford. I think he's got it. He has on about the third bite. That time it was a genuine Daniel Stafford mark. Flew high, pulled it down, blocked it, grabbed it again and again. 3 bites. And the boy from South Alice Springs, he's got that little hobble up again there, Sam, I see, with the knee, but you reckon he can kick this goal. I'm sure Chris Forbes, he's coaching Alice Springs. Alice Springs, South Alice Springs, will be watching very closely in the form of his champion Spearhead.
So as he comes in, can he kick his 7th for this game? He's going to line up, takes a few steps, goes for the long kick, and he bangs it straight through, and the Buffs boys are happy. They are stoked that they will take that lead by 5 points again. Our 45th lead change for this game, I reckon it's got to be up to.
Well, it's an unlucky number, really. It's 13. So it's an unlucky for who, though? That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's a very good mark and goal by Stafford. All sorts of pressure. He knew if he missed that, they wouldn't be in front, but now he'd put them 5 points up. 7 goals in a game that means so much to both sides. A great effort by Big Staff.
Yeah, and I think Tars, the defenders between O'Dwyer and whoever else he's rotating through onto him, just really need to start playing in front. They haven't played in front all game. They've let Stafford lead. They've given him a right to take a run, so they really need to get in front, and he clunked that mark because he was in front then. So as the ball goes back up, Kirby's just grabbed Stokes just a bit high around the neck. And Stokes will take this free kick, and he's played on, and Kirby not happy with it, so he just tries to follow it up, very disciplined. And under it is Bradley Stokes, and he's just worked his player but hasn't gone far enough, and Hill's got it with a strong tackle from Cassidy, and they'll just look to settle things in the top of the 50 with the ball up.
And you're right, Sam, the Buffaloes are getting to the ball first, and that's very important in a game like this.
So both boys having a cuddle in the ruck tap, and no one really getting that out, but hitting the footy hard was Yaron in and under there. Releases Hill, but Hill can't quite take possession without a run, and Scotty Carlin picks that up with the quick hands to his teammate in Carroll. Carroll goes long, Carlin's back on it. Carlin finds a teammate in Spence. The Catherine boys, they're on together. Carroll, Carlin and Spence goes inboard to Hillis. Hillis is going short, and he hits up. There he is, Scotty Carlin, and he's going to say, let's take this back, and I'm going to have a shot on goal, boys.
And those Catherine Camels boys you're talking about, they'll be watching this, Sam.
They sure are.
He's their teammate, Scotty Scooter Carlin. He can put his Waratahs back in front for lead number 14. Lead change, that is, number 14. Amazing game, this one. And here he comes with his standard drop punt. Antonio James going hysterics on the mark, and it worked because Scotty Carlin has sliced it away to the right. So 16-13, 109, plays 17-11, 113. Been going just over 9 minutes in this round 17 game of the 23-24 NTFL season, and where AFL NT is bringing it to you via the Towards Zero round, Sam.
Sure is, and 2 kicks and it's inside Buff's forward half. But Tars with a presence there. O'Dwyer attacking the footy here. Gets a handball out, but first to it there was Buffs in and under. Maddie Campbell there just rolls over with the ball over the line. So we'll get a ball in no one's territory about halfway around the ground.
Just looking at the Buffalo backline, they've got a man up. They've really got to play tight defensive football if they want to win this.
So Wilkins just tried to play for the free kick there, and the umpire's not having a bar of it, and Mensch has got it. He's looking inboard, looking to find a teammate. Heading back with the flight was Crocker. Didn't really have eyes for the footy, but didn't really impact, and he's released O'Sullivan, who's got a short handball to Carlin, and off it goes out to the wing for Tars. It's a one-on-one and great body work there. But James has just come out with the footy and the chocolates, and he's kicked it back inside 50 to Daniel Stafford. He's gone for another cheeky tap over the back. Didn't bounce well for Sketcher, so Tars have just cleaned it up. But James cutting it off. He goes for a tackle, and Tyson McKenzie takes him on. Goes for a run. He's looking for Anchors. Anchors is sitting under it, but the tall, long-limbed Chris Williams goes for it, and it's a 3-on-1 there. And Buffs with the numbers, but Williams just undecided what he wants to do with it. He's having a little dance.
Oh, Mensch. That's not Mensch.
Stinking kick from, I think that was Hayden Brown. It's just said, here you go, Tars. Straight out, and Clark kicks that inboard. Finds his tall teammate in Hutt. He's got Magro leading at him, demanding the footy, but he was a bit close, and Hutt's gone long to the square. Can Hillis pick it up? No, he can't, but it's come off the boot of someone, and it's Hayden Brown in the last centimetres got a hand to that footy.
Well, full-length dive it took 2 to prevent that one going through for 6 points. It's only 1. So it's 111 to 113. Been going just over 11 minutes, Sam, the last quarter, and back to Mensch. That's possession number 27 for him, and he gives it out here to his teammate Moroney. Moroney looks for the handball and gives it eventually. Here's a left foot kick from Brown again up to the wing, but it's intercepted, and here come Waratah again. But this time Magrove dropped the mark. He's had one of them days, Jaden. He tries to get around his left foot, gets the handball away, and Mark
Anchors, he was sitting there.
Anchors, the right man at the right spot. There's an old saying in there, the wrong man at the wrong time, but he's the right man at the right time. And it's going to be Abraham Anchors, the federal superstar from Alice Springs, and a premiership player with Waratah as well, is lining up to put his side back in front.
He sensed his teammates there. He backed him. He knew he was able to sit in this hole. I'll be ready for that quick kick around the corner out of the pack. So as he's walking in, he's lining up for goal number 2 for the game. He's taken a few steps. He puts a bit of beef behind it, and he's kicked it through. And that puts Tars 3 points ahead in this do-or-die clash of our round 17 at TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between Darwin Buffaloes trailing the Waratah Warriors at 17 goals 11, 113 to 17 goals 14, 116.
So what's that? 31 shots to 28. And they lead by 3 points only. We're about halfway through the last quarter. So the next 12 minutes will probably decide the season of both clubs, because if Waratahs lose this, they've got no chance of the double chance, which is, of course, top 3 position. And if the Buffaloes lose, their season is over. So it's a must-win situation for both clubs.
So that ball's gone up. Maddie Campbell pursues it, picks it up cleanly, goes deep inside forward 50. Who can he find? Cannot find Stokes, but Keranoa's first there for the Tars. And it's just been rolled across the boundary line. So a quick clearance from the Buffs, getting it deep inside their forward 50 as the 13 minutes ticks over in this final quarter.
Yes, the very last quarter of the game. And Ryan Clark's still the top possession getter for Waratah. He's one ahead of your boy from Castle Camels, Scotty Carlin.
Sure is. So Wilkins versus Stafford in the ruck. Clark can't quite pick it up, and Campbell goes boom on the left. Can he kick his goal and put Buffaloes ahead? He can, straight out the pack. And he does, and I'm sure they're celebrating out there.
Yeah, all the Pioneer supporters in Alice Springs will be yelling. Matty Campbell's done it again. Number 23, he's put them back in front. Gee, the lead seems to be changing once a minute.
It is at this point.
18-11, 119 to 17-14, 116. It's a real shootout. This has turned out to be 35 goals kicked, and the Buffaloes have got one more than Waratah. That just about sums up the game, doesn't it? 14 and a half minutes gone in the last quarter, Sam.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're all pointing to here, but Sampson will just take the footy and go have a chat to the other umpire, I think. And there's been a free kick paid to Coco Nicky. Something must have happened off the ball as the ball was getting...
Bounce. Yeah, the bounce was about to take place.
So Coco Nicky, he's marked inside 50. I'm not sure what happened there, but now it might cost the Tars.
How many goals has Coco kicked? I've got 3.
Where is he in my team sheet? I've got him for 2, but I might have missed one. I reckon he kicked one last quarter.
Yeah, and he's going to come back and have a shot anyway from about, 40 metres?
Yep.
Kicked it high in the air and away to the left.
Hung it left. So whatever happened there, Tars are going to have to pull this one back and find some discipline as well.
4 points of difference, Sam. Been going nearly 15 and a half minutes. What a game.
So O'Sullivan kicks it in long. It's gone to a pack. No one's really taken it, but Stokes comes through.
Terrific play by Jared Stokes.
The captain, he's put it to the top of the square. He goes, Stafford, I know you're there, brother. I'll find ya. And he's just been worked under the ball, and really smart work by Daniel O'Dwyer to work him under the ball and force that ball to go out on the full.
Yes, Daniel Stafford there pointed the umpire about he was held by one arm, but the umpire said, Staff, I'm in charge here. Let's get on with the game. And O'Dwyer, you said, it was very good in that situation.
This will be interesting. So the Tars boys should have gone and jumped over to get that footy. They made us do it in Women's Premier League the other week because there was no score after that. So they are 1-1 there, the Tars, and through Cassidy. Cassidy's got it to Carlin. Carlin has the space and time in the corridor to get a bounce. He goes short to his teammate in Mackenzie. Mackenzie's must have some option down forward. Yep. Kirby's there. Kirby all by himself. Who leaves the big fella by himself? And he's going to have a look. He's got Anchors calling for it over the back. You just can't quite see him in screen. He's by himself, and he's going to duck into that goal square, I have no doubt.
Just jogged quietly in a position then, didn't he, big Kirby? And he'll line up to put his side back in front. Once again, it's changing every minute, the lead. And big Arnie Kirby, very important kick for his side. As time ticking away, still a lot of time left though, nearly 17 minutes gone. Arnie Kirby's trusted drop punt. What's he going to do with this one? He's going to kick it right over the behind post. So 1 point only. So really a bad miss from Big Arnie. He'll be a bit disappointed with that, I'm sure, but because they're still trailing. 17-15, 117 to 18-12, 120. Been going nearly 17 and a half minutes in this round 17 clash at Darwin's TIO Stadium.
Both teams have had their chances as Williams going to run this ball out as far as he can. Has a very safety bounce, a tap on the ground. James just works Hutt under the ball, but out the back is Croker. Croker goes for a long handball to Carlin. Carlin releases Hutt. Hutt looks short. He's trying to find a teammate in Clark, but he can't find him, and Mensch is there. Maroney's there. Anchors just bumps Maroney off the footy, but running through slightly high. But Anchors, he's going to get it. Can he put his team in front? He's running in, and he's kicked it. And that's put Tars back in front, taking the lead by 3 points. And Anchors, a match winner, I would say.
And underneath us is the Waratah cheer squad. You may hear, Sam, they are going ape droppings because it's a huge goal there by Abraham Anchors, the 18th. 36 goals kicked in this game, and there's still more to come, you'd think. Yeah, 18 minutes gone in the last quarter.
Every quarter's gone for about 28 to 30 minutes today, and it's going to go longer, I reckon, here.
Yes, there's more goals to come. There's no doubt about that.
And I think in this last 18 minutes, the boys that have stood up is that of experience between Matty Campbell, Abe Anchors, he's young, but he's experienced here, and all those, so...
And, of course, your boy from the Camels, Scotty Carlin, been very good too. But there's a kick out of the middle by Waratah and a nice mark.
Tommy Spence there.
Down the ground by Spence. Very nice mark. He jumped high to get that one. And he spotted a player out wide. And he's going to go short himself into the forward pocket. And the man there again is big Arnie Kirby, as you said. I think his best option is to go. He's going to square it up, in fact. And Toby Hutt running into an easy... No, it's not Toby Hutt, it's your man.
Scotty Carlin.
So, and no doubt the Catherine Camels boys watching this will be yelling to put it through. And Scotty's going to take his time too, as he should.
Yeah, he's only got a 1-on-1 in the goal square, so might as well go for it.
He is going short. In fact, no, he dropped it. Bit of a dirty day for Jaden Magro. He dropped that one. He should have taken that. It's a kick out to the half-back line and a very nice mark. No, it's a lay on, said the umpire. Here's Jackson Clark getting a handball going. Back to Ishmael, I think it was. He goes to half-forward.
Great
once
spoil.
Again, there's no real content. Bradley Stokes almost marked it, got it spoiled. Dwyer with a nice calming kick out to the half-back line where Taj will come forward to the wing position.
Yeah, so Hillis just slowing things down and Cassidy saying, boys, let's settle. We're 3 points up. We're about to tick over into time on. Let's play our composed footy on our terms. And he finds Anchors and he takes a mark on the far side wing.
Gee, Anchors have come into this game, you're right. The boy with the sky blue boots.
Cassidy calling for it again, setting up a nice training drill in and out of the corridor to the wing.
This guy's been terrific, isn't he? This Cassidy.
Sure has.
All day, really.
So he plays on around Mensch, takes him on. He's got James pursuing, but he gets a nice kick long, just dabbles inside 50, but to rove it there, the big fella in Archard, he takes the footy out. It's just done a high bounce in front of Mensch. And to Mensch and Gleeson go at it, and the umpire's going to say it's a ball in.
Yes, it's coming down to the wire. This, you can almost feel the fans of both sides taking a big breath in, inhaling, that's the word I'm looking for, because there's going to be a lot of yelling done between now and the final siren. There's the Sharon tossed into play again. There's a chance for Buffaloes to get it. A left foot kick here, right to the wing position. They go, it's a contest there, and a mark though to this very organised Waratah defence. Although I say organised, they've had 18 goals kicked against them. But they seem to come up with the big plays at the right time, Sam.
Yeah, and Ryan Clark there, he's been influential for them as well, the experienced AFL player. I've seen this one's list as Cassidy releases Carlin. Carlin's lowered the eyes to try find Magro. Don't know what he ate for breakfast, but he won't be eating it again this next week as we come into finals. And Hillis just caught with a great pursue tackle from Buff, so Stokes has got that. And he's looking for a teammate. I think he's got Matty Campbell pushing up. Matty Campbell knows the time of the game and the influence here.
A fair bit of time left though, Sam. They kicked 7 goals, so you're looking at about a 27, 28 minute quarter.
So Moroney took that mark, but pursued by Carroll, and Carroll forces him to make a silly decision to do that, to throw that handball, and Magro just overrun by Matty Campbell, and Campbell comes out with it. He goes short down the wing to find James in space.
Magnificent play there by Matthew Campbell, the former North Melbourne champion as well.
So Antonio James goes down the line.
Oh, Antonio, my favourite player.
Thought the umpire was his teammate, but it's not. The umpire will give it to Tom Spence on the out on the full.
So he's given away possession, Antonio. They didn't really want that. Only 2 points of difference. Spectators from both sides ready to yell. We've got the Waratah cheer squad right underneath us, Sam, so you can expect the grandstand to fall over if Dark pick the next goal.
Matty Campbell's just cramping on the bench here that I can see, tucked down. Yep. Not a great time, so Spencer's gone long and he's gone deep, but stood under it, and strong was Williams. Took a great contested mark there.
This guy's starting to run into the form that made him one of the best players in the league about 4 years ago. And he's gone short. Oh, he's gone too short again.
That's out on the full.
You don't do that in tight situations, Buffaloes.
Cassidy tries to play on there, but they'll say off you go back over the boundary line.
This guy, I'd give him best player on the ground, Sam. He's been everywhere.
He has, and he's been consistent across those 4 quarters as well.
In fact, he's just found a new nickname, I've been told. It's called the Leyland Brothers. He's been everywhere. So there you go. Lockie Cassidy.
So he finds Spence. Spencer's going to go long to that contest just inside the 50. Who's under it?
Ooh,
Who's under it? Brody Carroll. Beautiful contested mark. And he takes on the 2 bigger Buffs players and he says, thanks for the hand up, Toby Hutt. I'm going to go back.
He decided he better lead from the front then, Brody. Last year's skipper, of course, has taken what has the potential to be the match-winning mark. In a packed situation, up he went, crashed to the ground, swamped by about 3 or 4 angry Buffaloes, but he's come up with the football, most importantly. Would only be, what, he'd only be 25, 30 metres out when he kicks the ball?
Probably about 30.
should steer this through with that trusted left foot, Brodie Carroll.
So can he do it?
Who spent his childhood down there in Catherine playing for the Big River Hawks.
Sure did.
The junior side, of course.
So he comes in on the left. Has he steered it home? He has, and the boys are going to get around him. And that's going to give Tars a lead of 9 points, and we're 25 minutes gone of this last quarter. There can only be probably about 4 or 5 minutes left.
Yes,
can they hold on?
A couple of hands on hips there from the Buffalo boys, which is what you don't really want, because 9 points can be made up. But, by gee, that was a great goal by Brodie. And what about the mark? Talk about pressure. Up he went. Hit it, as I said, he was crunched, but land on the ground. Probably took the wind out of him. But you don't have wind, you don't have pain when you take a mark like that.
You don't.
And of course, he converted.
In that point of the game as well, with just that experience again from him to really stand up.
Righto then. So, what do you reckon, Sam? About 2 or 3 minutes left?
Yeah.
Maximum. The umpire about to throw the shiny Sharon up into the atmosphere, and he does just that. Big Waratah went high, but he was beaten to the tap by his immediate opponent, the big fellow Kirby, and Tars are going to come forward again. There's a chance here for Hutt to mark. Hutt. But he couldn't get that one, and the umpire has called a free kick.
The non-controlling umpire then just called that one, and I think fair play.
Yes, he was certainly pushed and shoved, but I think it was a bit of a 50-50, but the umpire decided the man in red was the main man interfered with, and Hutt can seal it here.
Yeah, Buffs are looking a bit flat. They do have a chance. They've kicked goals within 20 seconds, so they're not out of it yet, but with a 9-point lead and requiring 2 goals, I would say they're feeling it.
They're leading everywhere, the Waratah boys. You're going to kick right on 50, Hutt. And he goes bang, and he has kicked a point because it's touched right on the line. So 19-16, 130, plays 18-12, 120. Probably the game of the year, this one, Sam, I'd say.
Most exciting game I've called for a while.
37 goals kicked, would you believe? And it looks like Waratah are going to sneak home unless the Buffaloes get a goal in the next minute or 2. And there's a man who should be playing for Manchester United. That was number 25 for Waratahs, and that was in fact Jack Gleeson. The ball in the forward pocket. What's happened here? Free kick?
Yeah, I think just front on contact. So Spence was just sitting under that, and Williams has just come back with the flight of the footy. He couldn't really do anything else there, Williams. He did try to turn his body, but he has given away that free kick, and I think he's a bit understanding, just questioning the umpire there. So Spence will take this back on a tight angle.
Yes, the intent was certainly there from Chris, but unfortunately the technique was a little bit out, and Spence can seal it. And that's the second time in about a minute they've had a chance to seal the result, but I've got a feeling they're home, though, the Red and Whites. 19-16, 18-12 due. They've had to work for it, though. A very spirited Buffalo charge, and he goes around and hooks on goal, Stevie J style, but only a behind. So 19-17, 131. Plays 18-12, 120. So that's 11 points. It means Buffaloes have to get through twice. 2 goals to win this game, and the time must be running out.
Yeah, they've gone smarter this time and gone up the corridor, but sitting under it, Daniel O'Dwyer. He's playing in front, as I said he needed to do, and he's taken that mark for his team, and he's found Alex pulling out on the wing. They're just going to steer this one. Spence again. He's just going at the footy. Maroney's there, and that's the siren. So Waratahs take the chocolates. 19 goals, 17, 131 against Darwin Buffaloes. 18 goals, 12, 120. And Gray, what an absolute tight tussle all game. And who can you pick? Who stood out?
I reckon we've watched the game of the year here today. The game of the season. It's not years in Darwin, it's seasons. October to March. Who stood out? Well, I think Lockie Cassidy, number 7 there for Waratahs. He was the everywhere man. I called him the Leyland brother, and certainly he was. He was terrific. The big fella in the ruck, Kirby, had an enthralling duel with his immediate opponent in Benny Archard. The guy that stepped up in the last quarter, or the last quarter and a half, was Abraham Ankers. He kicked some very vital goals. This goes on. Ryan Clark, of course, the former Swan. Pretty unobtrusive, but every time he got the ball, he did something with it. What you have to do in games like this. Jack O'Sullivan was very good, the big long-legged orange booted lad. And for the Buffaloes, gee, those some good players too. Big Stafford kicked 7 goals. Probably his best game for 3 or 4 years, in Darwin anyway. Jarrett Stokes was very good again. So was Baxter Mensch with a heap of possessions. I was going to check his possessions before, and I'm sure you will for me.
Yeah, I'll jump on and have a look.
And, but really, it's come down to who used the ball better. And in that crucial last quarter, especially the last 5 minutes, it was a red and white jumpers. So they won by 11 points and kept themselves in contention for a top 3 spot, and of course that means the double chance at finals time.
Yeah, and our 2 main men mentioned Cassidy leading disposal getters on the ground with 30 apiece. A little bit less than Mensch's average of 40 every week, I reckon, but both influential as well. And I would say you're spot on. Magro didn't quite stand up, but Tars had enough to stand up there today, and they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they had 9 goal scorers across their 19 goals. So
certainly both teams gave everything. There's no doubt about it. The Buffaloes were very good, but Waratahs were a little bit better when it counted, Sam, and they are the side that grabbed the 4 points. As for the Buffaloes, still a sniffer making the finals if Pint lose the next game, actually, on the schedule, but then they've got to beat St Mary's next week, so they've still got a slight sniffer making the finals, but they would have loved to have won